What is up? What is up? We are live. We are live. Welcome aboard, everybody. Do appreciate. Excuse me. Already. Shout out to everybody that'll be making it into the building, whether you're catching it live or you're catching it after it's uploaded. Make sure you hit the like button. You already know what to do. Got a number of topics on the table. Yes, in a very weird turn of events, Kanye West's ex-girlfriend had to distance herself from him and offer an apology to the those that we don't speak of. She had to offer it's like, well, not necessarily an apology, but she had to make it clear that where she stands. She had to make it clear that where she stands. It's almost like she had to come out and formally denounce. It's like I think it's going to be an up and coming trend where after they get canceled and get dropped from all of the stuff that they're on, that their shoe deals, their contracts, their business deals, or this or that, the women in the industry, I believe, the women in the industry are going to have to start, unless they want to get dropped from everything, they're going to have to denounce the anti-Semite penis that they put in their mouth. That's what I think just happened in this video clip that I'm about to show you, because that's what I think she pretty much had to do. So strap on in. This is crazy. Strap on in. Let's get ready to go. Let's get it.
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
What is up? What's going on, good people? Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the show. Shout out to everybody in the building. Peace, salute, and shout out to the early bird squad, those that make it in bright and early. Shout out to RM, and as she always says, on the way in the building, hit the like button. Shout it out, brother Xavier and SKC, the makers of the intro. You know, SKC do the graphics and brother Xavier do the voiceover. Shout out to JC the Conqueror in the building. Says congratulations on the 20K. 20K and still rolling. I'm trying to keep it going. I got to get to work and try to make that next big viral hit. Got to get to work on it. Got to get in the lab with a pen and a pad trying to get this damn label off. Got to get at it. But Ben Hand in the building says, you're repeating what I said. Yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be getting into that. I'm going to make y'all wait for it before I get into the main topic. The main topic will be coming down the pipeline, but because I got a number of things I got to touch on before we get all the way into the main topic. But yes, that's my assessment of what happened. Kanye West's ex-girlfriend, Julia Fox, basically had to apologize and announce that who she stands with. She stands with the Jewish community, obviously. Of course, she's in Hollywood. But she had to announce that. So I'm thinking that that's going to be the new trend going on. If they get dropped all their contracts and shoe deals and get dropped from labels and you name it, they didn't got dropped from it. All their business deals have dropped. The women in the industry that they have messed with, that they hold on, you can drop you're on the screen. You can. Yep, I had to drop you down yesterday. Do it yourself. So you make sure you know how to drop yourself down. That's the administrator in the back. Y'all see him. Can you remove yourself from the stream? Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. But when you accidentally pop up, I want you to be able to move yourself down because for some reason you automatically pop up when you come in. I don't know what the deal is, but we'll figure it out. Build it while we fly it. Build it while we fly it. All right. But yes, I think the next thing that's going on, I think the next thing that will be going on coming down the pipeline is after they get dropped from their label and everything and they lose all their business contracts, their shoe deals, and the whole works, when they lose all of that and everything is going, all is lost. What I believe is about to start happening is the women in the industry that they've dealt with are going to also have to get perp walked. You have to justify now and explain why were you with this man who had these views. Yeah, I could see the tweet that she had to respond to. She had to respond to a message. I don't know if that was a tweet or a message. I don't know who that message came from, but they were basically asking her to explain why was she with a known misogynist, why was she in a relationship with a known misogynist and an anti-Semite, and she had to come out and explain herself and then announce at the end that she stands with the Jewish community. We're going to get all the way into that because, like I said, like the comment says when it was repeating what I said in my opening pre-ramble, that basically, yes, the women in the industry who have been in relationships with these men are going to have to come out and formally denounce say that I denounce the anti-Semite penis that I put in my mouth. They have to make sure that they make it clear that they fully denounced and washed their mouth out with soap and that's what they're going to have to start doing. That's what they're going to have to start doing. That's what's coming. That's what's coming down the pipeline. No, because that's literally what this woman had to do. That's literally what this woman just had to do here. So we're going to be getting into that. We got a number of things on the table to get into. One thing real first, and I promise, this will be my last time discussing this. This will be my last time discussing this because I'm through with it. But when you make videos, if you're a content creator and you made any Wakanda Forever videos, you get crazy comments in the chat room. Okay, you get crazy comments in the chat room of people defending the lunacy. But a chat room conversation led me down a rabbit hole to where it had me looking at this right here, looking at just the cast. And I did this in one of my shorts. But it had me looking at the cast. I see Winston Duke who's playing M'Baku, and then you see, everybody else. You see three women. So what I asked myself is, how far down do we make it down the list before we see the next black man, credited in this movie? How far do we make it down the list? So I scrolled a little bit, and like, okay, no black man. We 8 deep. All right, no black man credited in the movie. None. Okay, let's go down a little more. Okay, now we 12 deep. Still no other black man other than Winston Duke, who played M'Baku. We have to get 13 and 14 deep. Have to get 13 and 14 deep before we find another black man credited in the movie. And they were credited as, y'all can't see it because that's real small down there. Even if I made it a little bigger, y'all might not be able to see it. They're credited as River Tribe Elder and what does that say? Border Tribe Elder. They were credited as River Tribe Elder and Border Tribe Elder. So when we're looking at the cast of Black Panther, it was so purged of black masculinity that you have to get 13 and 14 deep through the cast before you find another black man other than Winston Duke, who played M'Baku. And the two other black men were credited as River Tribe Elder and Border Tribe Elder. Wakanda was so purged of black masculinity that the other black men in the movie, other than M'Baku, they didn't even get a name. They didn't even get a name. Like that's that's how that's how deep it was. That's how deep it was. So yeah, I ended up having to do some content on that because somebody tried to tell me that, hey, look, man, you're overreacting. Like Chadwick Boseman died. You're acting like a Disney owns Marvel. He's like, you're acting like Mickey Mouse assassinated him. I was like, well, no. Uh, Chadwick Boseman died, but Mickey Mouse did assassinate T'Challa. those, those are two separate events. T'Challa got murked by Mickey Mouse. Chadwick Boseman died of natural causes. We hashtag never forget. Like we not losing sight of that one. We not losing sight of that one. And while we at it, another thing I did a short on. I'd just be remiss if I didn't play this because it was just funny as hell.
Look, Judah.
How the hell did that happen? And she just got up and started running. She just spun out of that damn. I didn't get to elaborate in that short like I wanted to because shorts are short. They're only 1 minute long. So, but she's sitting there dancing. Oh shit! She's sitting there dancing, having a good time. Went back to car. Wow! Landed on the back of her neck. Looked like she just patted her head, fixed her hair, and look, she's standing up, jogging. I said in my short that women, some of them, I believe they feel pain selectively. They will cry over a broken nail. They will cry over a broken nail. But when they're twerking on a car and they slip and fall and land on their neck and get ran over once they hit the ground, they they will get up like nothing happened. But let them break their pinky fingernail. They goddamn it, the world got to stop. It's it's like I'm convinced that they are pretty damn selective with this pain stuff. She just hopped up like the damn Terminator and running. I think she's running to go try to make it back into the car. I think that's what she's doing. She's trying to see the pain of embarrassment was so much that she just got up and tried to run down the car. Because the car gonna pull over to the side.
Look, Judah.
See the car pulled over to the side. She's like, I gotta hurry up and go run, get in this damn car. But the Clue channel in the building. Shout out to the Clue channel. Shout out to the Clue channel. He says Mickey has many bodies in the MCU and the Star Wars universe. Yeah, Mickey Mouse got more bodies than Thanos right now, man. Mickey Mouse got more bodies than Thanos all day. All goddamn day. But like I said, we got in. Shout out to Clue. Do appreciate you coming on through. And shout out to shout out, damn it, I didn't take no pictures. I never take pictures, but shout out to everybody who was there last night at the gathering of sorts that we had, the meetup of not a formal Manosphere meetup, but a lightweight meetup gathering, Detroit meetup that we had. A group of us got together. Sir Tice was out there. Shout out to Sir Tice. I know I'll be seeing him in the chat room pretty soon. I didn't expect to see Sir Tice. Saw Vernon Scott, who actually was on the show in studio before. He's one of the few people that's been in studio. But so yeah, and he was there. So yeah, shout out to them. Shout out to everybody that showed up. I've met so many of my subscribers, and I'm so bad with names. So the brother I met, you're gonna have to shout yourself out. You have to shout yourself out. I met somebody down there that I didn't know beforehand. But so yeah. JC says we need a meetup in NYC so I can go. I don't know what I mean, right now, what we do, and shout out to Christian Hutchinson for putting it together. It's really not a formal thing. It's just a gathering. We just there, just have some drinks and watch some Monday Night Football and chop it up and talk and network and talk shit. And it's a real, it's a light thing that we do. We do it once a month. But the formal meetups where it's a big deal and funding and all kind of shit behind it, those are annual. And I don't know if NYC is on the is on the board. I know it's going to be one in North Carolina. I know it's going to be one in Charlotte. So that's what I know for a fact is happening. But either way, yeah. Hey, if some way somehow you could round up the brothers in this space that are in your area and make it happen, by all means, make it happen. It got to be at least. I would think it would be at least a content creator or two. I mean, if you could find like 1, 2, maybe 3 content creators in that area, and then just try to organize it a little bit from there, keep it simple, and it might work. It might work. It might do something. So yeah. So no, definitely. We have the rep of a bunch of raging people behind. Why the hell am I freezing? If I'm freezing and getting kind of choppy, let me know. Let me know if I'm having technical issues. I can't tell. But yeah, I mean, we get the reputation of a bunch of guys raging behind avatars, but I've met so many of these raging avatar incels who are actually well-adjusted guys in the tech industry and IT and it's like, so yeah, we've shattered we've shattered and debunked a lot of nonsense. But shout out to everybody in the building. Moving along, this is another one that's real quick, real important that I gotta
retired fathers
got to get into. Yeah, listen to this.
And those allegations of my mom is a retired father's rights attorney, and those allegations of abuse against the children, particularly sexual abuse, is a power play often made by mothers in custody cases that isn't uncommon. My mom witnessed it so much over her career as an attorney that she was able to start accurately predicting precisely the moment in the custody battle when those allegations were likely to drop.
Wow.
It was almost always when something was working out in the father's favor, the mother felt like she was losing control, and she would make these allegations. I got this DM from a man today who gave me consent to share it.
I didn't want to. Oh, yeah, I can't see that because it's small. Let me blow it up and make it bigger for y'all. Let me blow this bad boy up and make it bigger for y'all. It says, I didn't want to post, but she told me if I left her, she'd tell the cops that I touched one of my daughters. That type of thing happens in divorce cases. Yeah, notice that she said whenever the mother is losing leverage, she pulls something like that. Thank you, Ben Hahn, saying he see no choppiness. Whenever the mother is losing leverage, she actually tries to pull something like that. And that is a fairly common thing. Now, I didn't have that happen to me. I didn't have that exact thing happen to me. But it was some losing leverage, let me say something crazy stuff that I did have to do with. And the thing is, the system will placate to that. They will placate to that and be sympathetic towards that all day. They will be sympathetic towards that all day. And that is a death note for a lot of men who, where I advocate, hey, go fight because you roll up your sleeve, do your thing, man. You are in a damn fight for your life with that shit. You're in a damn fight for your life with that shit. And when I saw this video, MTR actually the one who originally dropped this video. So shout out to him. Get him his props and credit for being the one that originally dropped this. Shout out to Mediocre Stories and Reviews. And yeah, it was mind blowing. It was mind blowing. It blew me away. So and it hit home. So yeah, I did want to get to that. But now let's go ahead and get to the main event. so to speak. Let's get to the main event that's titled and featured in the thumbnail. Let's get to the main event now. This is the chick that Kanye was with. This recently was, dropped online, I think yesterday. This just recently was dropped online yesterday. All right. This is what happened. And y'all can't read that comment right there. Y'all can't read that comment right there. It was probably more legible in the thumbnail, but I just blew it up for me so that I can see it. I just blew it up for me so I can see it. It says, "I wish you weren't dating a famously violent misogynist and anti-Semite." That's what it says. That's what they're coming at her with. Now, part of me wanted to say that, okay, that's just a random fan. But when you look at the way that she replied to all of this, it's like you can kind of low key lightweight tell that it was more than, I'm not saying that this message came from on high, but you could tell that it was almost like she had to come out and formally apologize to something or somebody. That's it's like that's what more or less happened right there. That's what more or less happened right there. So let's go ahead and roll it and just and listen to this shit. Listen to this shit.
Okay, since
this is Kanye West's ex-girlfriend, kind of basically getting perp walked through social media for her connection with him. And you're going to see who she had to apologize to at the very end.
I was just going to write about it in my book and then have y'all buy it, but I'll just tell you guys for free. First of all, the man was being normal around me. And not only that, but the Kardashians, when I had a fashion line 10 years ago, they actually bought our clothes and sold them in their stores. And so I've always had a love for Kim, especially, and even Kourtney, especially, all of them pretty much. But no, the big three, Khloe, Kim, Kourtney, those are my girls. Anyway, so by the time me and him got together, it was he hadn't been doing anything, out there yet.
Hold on real quick. He's saying, Acadia says, she's a super feminist. Why do you keep going after women that aren't conservative at all? What are you talking about? She's a super feminist. Why does Ye? I'm sorry. I be skipping ahead when I read. Why does Ye keep going after women that aren't conservative at all? I think it's a short list, especially in the circles he run in Hollywood. That is a really short list. That is a really, really short list. So yeah, I think you should have the wherewithal to not go after a full-blown card carrying feminist. But I honestly believe most chicks that you're going to deal with, especially in the areas and the realms that he dealing in, they're going to have a lot of it in them. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Ain't no two ways around that. It is what it is on that.
The only thing he had done was change the name in the song and said, come back to me, Kimberly. That was really the only thing when we met. But I remember just being he was texting me. I wasn't really answering. I was I don't really want to hook up with a celebrity again. If nothing, you know what I mean? Nothing ever comes of it. It's they're kind of boring. They're not what you think they're going to be like. But he kept.
She dated him. He's under all this fire. She got to come out and explain why she was with him. She got to throw dirt on his name. Sometime, it's been a decent amount of time after they broke up, but she's in the industry. So she has to explain why she was with him. She's being perp walked through Hollywood right now. She got to explain why she was with this as it says right there, this misogynistic anti-Semite. She got to explain that. That's what's happening.
Going and
Kanye just don't got to apologize. Everybody who fucked him got to apologize. That's what's happening here.
Going, and he was you have bad text etiquette. And then I was oh my God, Kanye's yelling at me. What do I do? But then I had this thought. And I was
oh yeah, I skipped right over that part. Thank you, Logan JJ. How she said I was going to put this in my book. Yeah. She trying to write a book. She about to write a surviving Kanye book. That's what's about to happen. Surviving Kanye. That's what's about to happen.
God, maybe I can get him off Kim's case. Like maybe I can distract him, like just get him to like me. And I knew, I was like, if anyone can do it, it's me, because when I set my mind to something, I do it. And I will say that that month that we spent together, he wasn't he wasn't on Twitter, first of all. He wasn't on any forms of social media. He didn't even talk about his relationship. We only really talked about clothes and like weird ideas and plans for the future and our hopes and dreams for childhood and education.
Yeah, can't gloss over the fact that her argument is I had to I tried to get with him. Oh, you could bring that one back up, by the way. He's like, I tried to get with him to to get him off of Kim Kardashian. This was around the time where she was going public, he was going public. They both was saying stuff, but he was going public talking about stuff with like his kids and how she keeping him from his kids and this or that. And and it was some, I forgot the white lady that tried to say that his kids should be taken from him or some stuff like that. Like it was all kind of junk like that going on. So she getting perp walk through Hollywood now. So she gotta come and justify it. And she said, no, I was fucking Kanye to try to get him to ease up off of Kim. Like she's having to explain herself. She's having to explain herself. Shout out to Jason Wolf in the building, says, good luck finding a conservative woman in Hollywood. I'm sure that's why he steers clear of black women. They're super liberal. Yeah, it's probably that and a bunch of other reasons, but yeah.
And like it was really beautiful, guys. The moment he started tweeting, I was out. And that's the thing. It's like the media reported on our relationship ending like a week after it happened or something. So during that week, I think you guys all thought we were together, but we weren't. I'd already been like, dude, I'm not going to stick around for this shit. And also, I realized pretty quickly that he wasn't going to take my help. I was like, I want to help him. I want to help him. I sounded almost as dumb as you guys saying that I should have done something to stop him from saying, like, what? But anyway, I was delusional. I thought I could help him. Anyway, it didn't work. And now we're here. But that being said, really deeply respect the man as an artist. I don't want to shit on that. I don't want to reduce his whole career to his really bad moments, you know. But that being said, I stand with the Jewish community. Period. Okay. I don't want to shit on that. I don't want to reduce his whole career to his really bad moments, you know. But that being said, I stand with the Jewish community. Period.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? That part right there, that's what it was all about. That's what it was all about. She was with him. She was with this anti-Semitic man. She has a career in Hollywood. She has to denounce him and make it clear to who she stands with. You basically have to repent for the anti-Semite penis that you had in your mouth. That's basically what is going on here. That is basically what is happening here. It's not just enough. That's not where it's at anymore. Where you're just going to be losing your contracts. You have to come out and apologize if you want to keep your contracts. You want to be able to play in the NBA. You want to be able to do all of this. If you want to be able to keep living how you're living, you got to come out, get and apologize, and get perp walked. All right, you got to get perp walked through the media streets. Now it's to the point where the women who have sex with you are also going to have to come out and get perp walked. That's where we're at. That's what this thing has turned into. That's the absolute and utter ridiculousness of this. The absolute and utter ridiculousness of this. JC the Conqueror in the building says that why goes must that why goes must that why goes must another platform. Remember, leading up to the election, they got rid of all conservatives when. Okay, y'all in dialogue and conversation over there. But it's crazy. What's crazy is that the whole situation with Kyrie and Kanye, then low-key lightweight turned me into a conspiracy theorist. Whereas I was hardcore not with that shit. All right. I was hardcore 100% not with that. When everybody be trying to talk about a controlling hand behind the scene, I was like, nah, I ain't with it. That stuff, that stuff made a believer out of me. That stuff made a believer out of me. Yeah, that she took that Chappelle's advice that what did he say? How to buy some time. She did that. She took that Chappelle advice. I reject all forms of anti-Semitism in all ways and in any form, in any shape. That's what she had to do. That's what she had to do. No, absolutely 100% on that one. 100% on that one. She had to get with the program. She had to definitely get with the program. And so yeah, absolutely. 100% on that. All right, here we go. So Perfect Storm in the building says, so you think the government and elites always tell the truth? No, it's not about believing that they always tell the truth. When I talk about the conspiracy theory, I'm talking about when people have stuff that they can't prove. When people have stuff that they can't prove, but they're putting it out there as if it's true, that's where it turns into the conspiracy theory for me. If you got stuff that you can't prove, but you keep putting it out there as if it's true, and then when I probe and ask for truth, sort of like, yeah, y'all saw me do a live, like when Trey was talking about the world was flat. Y'all saw me do a live debunking of Trey on that, where he just had to joke his way out of it. He had to joke his way out of it. Like if you got evidence for something, have evidence for it and present your evidence. But you don't get to not have evidence, but talk about it as if you got evidence. That's sort of the contradiction in the term. A good conspiracy theory, a good conspiracy should not be easy to prove. That's the contradiction in the term, because in order for something to be a theory, you have to have evidence. If you lack only way for something to be truly a theory is that you have to have evidence for it. But if you don't have evidence for it, that means you start plugging in the holes. That's where the conspiracy part comes in. I'm not saying people don't conspire to do things, but if you had evidence for it, it wouldn't be a conspiracy theory. It would just be a theory. You see, it's a conspiracy theory because you don't have evidence for it. You just believe it. And then for some people, the conspiracy becomes their religion. Like they don't have evidence for their faith. They just believe it in their heart. And then that's why I get to the point where I say no to conspiracy theories of all forms. I reject it outright. But can people with power get together and conspire to do things? Yeah, they do. Yeah, of course they do. Of course they do. But I think you can't make heads or tails sometimes about of what's what, and that's where I think people get goofy with it. I think that's where people get goofy with it. But the stuff that I've been seeing lately, or paying attention to lately, it does have me looking at things differently. But hold on, wait, no, I meant to drop that down. Get rid of that. Moving on to this one. Moving on to this one.
This picture of me, put this filter on top of my face to make me look like a man, and then use me in a side-by-side comparison with Kylie Jenner, basically saying that white women are the beauty standard and black girls will never be as pretty as them because we're manly, and they're all in the comments laughing and calling me a gorilla. Society has this really weird obsession with stripping the femininity away from black women.
Question. The question on the table: did society strip the femininity away from black women, or did black women do a job themselves of stripping that femininity away? Let's back up. Let's back up so y'all can know where I'm coming from with this. Well, first off, what happened? Let's be clear on this. I do want to be clear on something. All right, this is what happened. Hold on. I want to be clear on exactly what it was that happened. And damn it, I don't got the proper side. Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Hold on, real quick.
This random guy on Twitter decided to take.
All right, that was a picture of her. Now this is what a dude did, where he kind of did her dirty. Where he took that picture and he put like a filter on it. I got the picture. I got what he did. He took that picture and he put like a filter on it of a man's. He put like a de-womanified filter. You know, basically like, yeah, okay, there it go, I got it. So he took the picture in the middle. Well, he took the picture on the right. He put the filter, the man filter on it, and then just a random dude just randomly picked her picture and put the man filter on it, and then compared it side by side to that's one of the Kardashians. I don't know who's who. I know Kim Kardashian when I see her, but all the other Kardashians, I don't know who's who because I don't keep up with the Kardashians. Yeah, that was a dad joke that I did on accident. it was no pun intended right there. it was no pun intended right there. But anyway, that was cold blooded. Yeah, that was cold blooded what he did. Winthrop, that's cold. It is. That was outright cold. That was outright cold. He took a picture of this woman who's pretty, put a man filter on it, and did a side by side comparison of that and Kylie Jenner, and said, "We know why who's the beauty standard and who's not." He did something like that. He did something like that. Now you're saying, "Ooh, that looks like a transformer," but no, it's supposed to look like that because he took the picture on the right and did like a man filter on it. Now it would be funny if if the picture in the middle is how she really looked and she filtered the other one, but we know that ain't true because she's on video looking more like the other picture. So I just want to be clear before we even get into this conversation. The dude, whoever did the shit, did her dirty. Whoever did that did her dirty. All right. Whoever did that did her outright wrong. Whoever did that did her outright wrong. All right. I do want to make, damn it, hold on. I do want to make that very, very clear. Hold on. Hold on, real quick. All right. All right. So yeah, that was some dirty shit. That was some dirty shit. You don't do that to nobody for no damn reason. And it's very contrived. It's like you're trying to prove a point. You're trying to go out your way to say black women are ugly to the point to where, like, I mean, damn, just find an actual ugly one. Like, I mean, if you're going to do that, just find an actual ugly one and do a side by side comparison. And even then, it's contrived if you deliberately find a pretty white chick that had plastic surgery and do a side by side comparison with a naturally ugly black chick. Like that's even then that's wrong. So okay, so that part being conceded, that after conceding that point, that whoever prompted this whole little thing that went viral, whoever prompted it or started it, okay, he was wrong. Okay, let's get that out the way. He was wrong, and that was some bullshit. But now that we got that part out the way, now let's go.
This random guy on Twitter decided to take this picture of me, put this filter on top of my face to make me look like a man, and then use me in a side-by-side comparison with Kylie Jenner, basically saying that white women are the beauty standard and black girls will never be as pretty as them because we're manly, and they're all in the comments laughing and calling me a gorilla. Society has this really weird obsession with stripping the femininity away from black women. They do this with Megan Thee Stallion, Michelle Obama, Serena Williams. We're constantly getting compared to men.
Okay. This is where she went wrong, and this is a weird thing that they do, because this ain't an ugly chick. She got some nice soft features. Like, she's cute. I got her at a weird pause right there, a weird face pause. But the face that started it all, the face that started it all was with this
random
right
guy on Twitter decided to take.
Okay, all right, that was it. She's a cute chick, but she's putting her cape on for the not so. God, stop it. Okay, Serena Williams is an acquired taste. I think some guys like her, some guys don't. I know somebody that's actually met her in person, and they said, man, she like 5'10", 5'11". So if you 6 feet, she like eye to eye with you. Her arms and shoulders are bigger than yours. It's like, no, she does look manly. She got big, strong, masculine features. Like, I mean, it's like you can't use that example and try to say and this is what they do to try to strip the femininity of black women. Like, we can't be soft. No, you use the strongest, super world-class athlete to try to make the point. Like, that's goofy. And then, like, somebody pointing out in the chat room, Eric the Red, Meg the Stallion. a stallion is a male horse. And then you look at how filthy her mouth is, how she cuss, more than me. I mean, it's like, damn. You're using women who are on the masculine spectrum anyway to try to make the point, and it's like that just reeks of a pretty chick. So what a game changer say? If you you slap a fat woman, a skinny woman says ouch. It's like they be on code. They be on code. It's like she's trying to pretend like their problems are her problems, and like no, she looked like a little. Why the hell do I keep freezing on my end? She's trying to make it seem like their problems are like all their problems are running parallel or some stuff. Like, no, that's not the case. Now they wrong what they be doing to Michelle Obama. They wrong what they be doing to Michelle Obama. That one horrific picture where somebody photoshopped her looking like Marcus or Mike or whatever her male alias is. That was wrong. All right, whoever did that was wrong, and you could tell it was photoshopped because you could still see the same earring in the picture. They couldn't. I play around with Photoshop when I make thumbnails. It'd be hard to get rid of the little skinny stuff. But yeah, so yeah, they for damn sure did her wrong. But let's go ahead and talk about the points that was made there. Let's talk about the points that was made there. She's talking about she's stripping the femininity away from Black women. This is where they try to climb on the cross and be ultimately the victim, as if people don't see what's going on. If people don't, maybe the internet arbitrarily selects, 10 on 10 we flying titties out battle royals, whereas Black women fighting. They maybe they deliberately select those type of battle royals more than what they select those type of battle royals of white women doing it. I'm sure white women do it from time to time. Maybe that is the case. Perhaps. Other than that, either that's the case or it actually happens more. Like it's certain things with Black men that people criticize me for, but no, I mean, as far as the body count out in them streets, that's like we gotta own that. Yeah, the Negroes out there, they're more violent. They in those areas. I mean, you could talk about the reasons why. I was tied to poverty and this or that or lack of resources. We can go back and forth on that. Either way it go, a very small percentage of the population has a really high body count. So I think it does sound ignorant when we start trying to say that, oh, they're trying to make the Black men look like this or look like that. I mean, there are now keep in mind there are plenty of things that I debunk. My whole show is about debunking false narratives that are put out there about Black men, but you can't debunk a live I'm about to say a live body count. No, a dead body count. You can't debunk that. That's not debunkable. I can debunk domestic violence. I've debunked that handily, and have shown that in domestic relationships that yes, the woman is and we're talking about Black people. The Black woman is typically violent first. Most of the violence is most relationships don't have violence. Then it's a smaller percentage that has unidirectional violence. That's like 33% with unidirectional violence. Then it's another 66% of the violent relationships is bidirectional violence. And in the bidirectional violent relationships, it is the woman the majority of the time that is initiating it, that is causing it, that is the facilitator. Like that is a fact. Like those are facts that we have unearthed, that we've talked about, that we've put out there. So I got this on the wrong side now. Yeah, but either way, I'm all for debunking propaganda against Black men. But the things that are legit, I'm not gonna just go out my way and blame society for it. I'm not gonna blame society for it. All right. Not gonna blame society. We can talk about it. But I'm gonna keep it real. So anyway, when she's talking about stripping the femininity away from Black women, how they just can't be soft, or they can't be this, or they can't be that, because society strips their femininity away, as if they didn't bask in the glory of being strong, as if they ain't out there doing a bunch of strong shit, as if that's not what's happening. It's like that's so when we talking about that, we're having an honest conversation about that. The spin move that's going on there. I'm trying to read the chat. The link in the chat. Anybody want to come up, by the way, and have their say on any of the topics? The link is in the chat. But yeah, there's hold on, I'm looking at what JC saying right there. Our culture promotes it. I don't even know what y'all talking about. But if y'all talking about the stuff that I'm talking about, the strongness and the violence, there's an aspect of it where the shit is definitely promoted. This shit is definitely promoted. But we are joined by hold up. Oh, we are joined by a couple people here. We're joined by Patriarchy Strikes Back and Game Changer in the building. What is going on? What's up, brothers, fellas? What's going on?
How are you? First off, the woman is a very ugly woman. The one that you said was attractive, she's a nasty looking woman. She's got sew-in hair, a lot of lip gloss. She's pointed at an angle. She's not an
Okay,
attraction.
hold on. Okay, you're full of shit.
She's an ugly. She's not attractive.
That's not ugly. You can say she's not
ugly.
your cup of tea.
She's ugly.
You can okay. This is my opinion on that. Somebody can legitimately say that she's not their cup of tea, but that's not an ugly woman.
Yeah,
what type?
I agree. I agree with Bernard.
She's
not maximizing her genetics, but I do see the genetic foundations of something nice. She does have the lips and eyes and the nose and the features that are genetically pleasing. What she's doing with her hair doesn't really accentuate what she has, but she has something there. There is a there.
I mean, she has braids. Like black women can't get braids. Like, what's going on?
I never said. Well, I didn't say that. I just said, how much of that hair is hers? She looks like the scarecrow.
Yeah,
well, once again. I mean, I'm talking from a genetic standpoint. You know what she's doing to her hair aside. Mm-hmm. The genetic foundations is there. The plumpness of the lips, the slant of the eyes, and
I was about to say the almond eyes or whatever they fuck they.
Okay, so are you telling me how much powder do we have on with this? Right, we all know
that's not the
Okay,
her.
I get it. You're talking about the eyes and the lips. I got you.
Yeah, I don't know, to be quite honest. I do know that makeup and stuff does do a lot of stuff, and you could wake up to this bitch with her whole face is on your pillow. That shit happened to me. And then what's underneath is a whole bunch of old chicken pox marks and shit like that. Who knows what's going on underneath the makeup? However, like what's presented there, the genetic foundation, like the stuff that we know hasn't been altered, at least as far as we know. Like she could have fillers and stuff.
Can we get more playing of the video though? Because then the other one where she would look like she was outside, she looked pretty bad.
Okay.
Oh, you mean this? Okay. Hold on. Wait a minute.
This picture of me, put this filter on top of my face to make me look like a man, and then use me in a side-by-side comparison with Kylie Jenner, basically saying that white women are the beauty standard and black girls will never be as pretty as them because we're manly, and they're all in the comments laughing and calling me a gorilla. Society has this really weird obsession with stripping the femininity away from black women. They do this with Megan Thee Stallion, Michelle Obama, Serena Williams.
No, she's making a shitty ass argument.
But the thing, according to them, the white women want to be like them. According to them, right? I don't understand. Yeah. See, this is this whole duality with what they say. You most of the time you say, well, Kylie Jenner, she want to look like us. Well, if she's trying to look like you, and you are you, then wouldn't you be the quote unquote beauty standard or whatnot? But listen, I just think that I just think women like this. Listen, I guess looking at her right now, she's not too bad, but she's very mediocre at best. I mean, nobody's lining up for this. This isn't you're not spectacular. You're not getting a job. There is a beauty standard. People have to admit that there is a beauty standard, right?
I agree with that.
Nobody said she's about to be a runway model. I mean, okay,
she's no Kelly Stamps.
Yeah. I mean, Kelly Stamps, I think is more like your personal cup of tea. I mean, I don't know if everybody just universally look at Kelly Stamps and say, "Damn, she fine" like that. But but this chick is more of like what somebody is saying. They're saying that she's a solid 6, You know,
Okay.
that's what somebody is saying. Like if 5 is average, right in the middle.
I mean,
She's definitely, she's bare minimum, even under the harshest critique, definitely a step above average. She meets the threshold of cute.
yeah.
If 6 is cute, if 6 is cute, then she definitely meets that threshold. That's
Okay.
why I'm like, I'm not even. I don't even get why the conversation really shouldn't even be, to me at least, how
Yeah.
she looks, because it's more
What
the
she said.
bullshit
What she said.
argument. The bullshit argument that she's making is more so what matters. How she's trying to make it seem like society has stripped away the femininity of black women. And it reminds me of when Game Changer said, like I said, y'all probably heard me say it before y'all came up.
When you
He
smack a
said if
skinny
a
woman, a
skinny
fat
chick,
woman cry, or
yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
a fat chick gets slapped, a skinny woman says out. She's bringing up Serena Williams and stuff like uh, she seems, just looking at her, she seems like a petite woman who's cute, who has a nice, soft sounding voice. Like she can get away with be viewed as feminine. She's trying to um uh, lump everything together and basically say the worst examples of Serena Williams out there with that manly tennis grunt when she hit, and then when she started losing, she cracked the tennis racket over her knee. Like, yeah, that's pretty damn masculine. The way Meg Thee Stallion talked, yeah, and calling herself a damn male horse, yeah, that's masculine. Quit, like, she's using those examples to basically try to advocate for them to be viewed as soft and feminine, and it's like, no, they not. So it's like that's part of the bullshit that I was picking apart. How she look. I mean, I don't care about that. I mean, she cute. I ain't tripping.
Yeah.
And y'all trying to trick. The unwritten rule when it comes to weave with black women, the unwritten rule is they can wear braids. It's when they get the long weave sewed in their hair and sitting in there for sometime months at a time and start smelling like corn chips. Basically, when they wear
twist.
Yeah, they get that's the unwritten
Spotless
rule. They
braids
can
or
get
whatever.
twist or braids. That's the
She just,
unspoken rule.
but this is the thing. She just mad because she got roasted online, and that's just what it is. I mean, you're just weak. I mean, like let's just be honest. You can't take people. You know, I'm not trying to explain how women feel, but like you tell men all the time what you don't like about them, and so like
Mhm.
the minute that they start going back on what it is that they don't like about you, it's anyway. Yeah, I personally think all the women she was saying, with the exception of Serena, I don't think that they're women.
Well, some
So
women do have like certain masculine traits. I mean, just like some men, like Prince,
Yeah.
have
don't start
characteristics.
talking about his almond eyes. You did that before and it got weird.
I don't think I've ever had that conversation.
No, it wasn't him. I think it was Jaden. Never mind.
Oh yeah, don't put me in that because
It was some guy who you said had girlish features, and it just got weird. But
oh
you were accurate. You were accurate. He do got girly facial features.
no,
But anyway.
okay, yeah, it got weird. So Phil, all right, Bernard and I had a private conversation, and
Wait, no, I thought
I
that was
was
on
saying
air.
that
You was
I
having
was
a
saying
private
that
conversation about another man.
so
No,
Bernard and I were
I'm
having a
joking. I'm
private
joking.
conversation. And I was saying that that Jaden Smith looked like my female cousin.
Oh God.
And then I went to say that my female cousin is not manly, she's pretty. And then that's when it got weird because it kind of like insinuated that I was saying that he's pretty, but I'm just saying no, he looks like a female, like my cousin. I'm not saying he's pretty. I'm saying that she's anyway. The shit got
Hold on, wait,
weird.
real quick before you go forward. My bad. If I thought that was an on the air conversation. I got confused with a off the air conversation versus an on the air conversation. I could have swore we talked about that on the air.
Nah.
It's a violation of code to bring up something that we discussed off even if it's minute minute and don't matter. If we talked
Yeah,
about it off the
yeah.
air, I can't bring it up on the air. That's
But
just
nah, it's
unwritten
out
rule.
there, so now I got to clean it up. But
Yeah, my
basically,
bad. My
Oh,
bad.
God.
basically, we was just saying Will Smith is a bitch for slapping niggas, and he has some weird ass bitch ass kids. And then that's when I started going in on Jaden and
Yeah,
saying
that's
that he
how it
looked.
happened.
Yeah,
That's how it happened. My bad.
no trip.
Yeah. But anyway, I forgot what else the fuck was I talking about. What's your thoughts on the on this chick here? Um,
Nasty looking too.
yeah, she looked good in her movies, but yeah, she's looking real trashy in her natural state. Real white trashy, real white trashy. But she
Oh,
kind of she basically had to apologize and separate herself and denounce the anti-Semitic penis that she put in her mouth. My theory is what's going to start happening is that when these dudes get perp walked through the media and they got to apologize, the women in the industry that's fucking them or have fucked them going to have to come out and atone for putting anti-Semitic dick in their mouth. What's your thoughts on that? Because at the end of it, she said, "And I stand with the Jewish community." It's like it's like I'm sitting there like, damn, was this them making her apologize too? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, it depends. Like if she knew the type of penis she was taking prior to taking it, then that is on her. Like if the dude has like a swastika on the penis, then and you sucked it anyway, then that crap is on you. But like somebody who comes out later on some, I am this type of person, nah.
well, this just goes to my theory, and I'm gonna try to be as politically correct as possible. That women are all gay. Um, I think that they care more about. I think that they care more about the opinions of others than they do sex. And I think that I think that they would rather sleep with an algorithm than a man. And I think that they pleasure themselves to likes and popularity. Because look at this, the same thing that this woman is doing right now. You have two different women from two different cultures, right? You have the black woman, the femininity, and then you have this white woman, whatever she is, talking about people being canceled, right? Both of these things have to do with their social media popularity, and both
Mm-hmm.
of it have to do with their reputation. Women are they're just, to me, collectively, they're just gay, right? Like they care more. I think they pleasure themselves to other people's thoughts about them. And that's why, to me, this is why they'll never be good at anything, because they can never do something against popular opinion that may benefit them in the future, because everything that they do is all about what other people think about them. So it's all about like it. That's what I'm saying. Like both these women, they're both the same person. They're both acting the same. They're both they care so much about what other people think about them that look, it just shapes their life. So that's my opinion.
No, that was pretty damn good. I agree with you. It comes. I like how you said it very provocatively to make people disagree with you, but then you lay out your case, and we see where you're going with it. They are more aroused by like the social media currency is a really high currency.
I
That
agree.
that yeah, 100% on that.
Well,
100%.
it's semi-sexual attention is what they're addicted to. And that is, attention that you don't have to fuck for. Which is why I don't participate. I don't participate because why give it to them, fellas? And I say this all the time on my channel, fellas. What do you get from liking a bitch Instagram photo?
But the thing
Like,
now,
have you ever known the process? Like when you look at a woman who is fucking somebody who's less handsome than she is pretty, do it begin with him liking her picture? Like like the stories of how I met, let's just take like Penny and Leonard on Big Bang Theory, where she's prettier than he is handsome. Did that begin with him liking her photo? Listen, clicking that thumb up button is not going to make her fuck you. Why do it? Every time you click the like button, that's another penny that her boyfriend has to spend on Valentine's Day. Each and every single like that she get. That's you're fucking up the pool. You're fucking up the pool. Bitch get 10,000 likes now. He got to spend $100 $100 extra on a bitch. Stop doing that. Stop hitting the like button. Shit, just look at the picture and jack off. What the fuck? Well, why hit the like button?
But the thing that you
On
don't,
Bernard, hit the like button for Bernard. But don't
Yeah, hit the
hit
like button for me. Don't be liking
but
Insta chicks photos.
but what you don't, but what you fail to realize, and what most people fail to realize, is now they no longer need male attention, right? Because like I said, you know how they're like sexually attracted to the algorithm. TikTok and Instagram algorithms are now their dildo, right? Because it's a robot now that pushes them out. And now they've even set up a system to where when you look at who's given most of their likes, it's other women. When you scroll down, who's liking most of their stuff, I will be honest with you. I think male attention has either stayed the same or gone down. Because now when you see, they've created this like hegemony, right? When you go out and you see now who's walking up to women, you're pretty, you're this, you're that, it's other women.
Yeah, it's other women and gay dudes.
And then no. And then when you go to the club and you see the AAA, you know what the AAA is, right?
No.
If you go to a club today, and it's mostly black women. I don't want to say if it's mostly black women, it's a bunch of them smacking each other's butt saying AAA.
Oh, yeah, that's what they do.
So that's what I'm saying.
That's because nobody else want to smack it.
No, that's not true. They've replaced, like, think about it. If male attention was the foundation for which they sat on, they have now replaced that with other females and robotic algorithms to replace male attention for them.
I'm gonna get back to that, but I do want to say this to JC. No, I believe you. I do want to say this to JC the Conqueror. Because he says, why do you watch people have sex? Because I'm a motherfucking man. Like, why do porn exist? You bastard.
It shouldn't.
Like, where did that come from? Did he respond to something in another chat room?
He's talking weird. He's talking weird. He's saying, like, I would rather like a thing than to watch other people have sex or something. That's what porn is. Whatever floats your boat. What the fuck is wrong with people like that?
Well, I think
it's a whole industry based on that, and it's free. And I don't hit the like button on that. The hell is wrong with you? Just because I enjoy or consume what you like. Get off. Yes, I like to watch porn. I like to have people watch me fuck, and I like to watch others fuck in real life. The fuck is your problem?
May I ask you a question?
Yeah, go for it.
And I'm not here to judge you. Well, I personally think pornography is evil.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the stuff that it does to men is very detrimental. I've always said I think it's worse than crack.
Okay.
Now,
equally addictive.
But the thing is, crack is not free. Okay, and crack is not. I don't trust anything that's free and widely available to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like certain shots that the government will give.
Yeah,
you,
but
right?
It's the crack. I've seen somebody get paid $1,000 and leave the house on a crack journey and come back broke. That don't happen with porn.
Really? Really? So you don't hear about people who get drawn into a certain lifestyle off of pornography and develop certain addictions, behaviors, and things like that from pornography? You've never heard of that?
I mean, it's some shit I didn't know I was into until I saw it in porn and was like, oh, damn, that's interesting. And so yeah, it can happen.
Are you aware of the effect that it has on men in terms of their relationships? And are you aware of the fact that, like, testosterone, all these things?
Okay, here's the thing about that.
My testosterone feels
well.
just
Here's
fine,
the thing: most things that people enjoy, including working out, creates dopamine that you can't get addicted to. Everything in moderation, including pastries or a delicious treat. Everything in moderation. So sure, you can give an extreme to anything and then say that a person can't get addicted to it. Me, I do enjoy a nice pornographic movie from time to time. Am I addicted to it? No. Do I have pornography on a separate screen while I'm talking to the two of you? Fuck no. I am not addicted to porn, However, I do understand that it can be addictive.
But let me ask you a question. Would you, number one, would you ever go watch physically two other people have sex.
Yes,
He does.
So you,
I do.
okay, okay,
Yes.
He
all right,
goes. It's called sex parties, like, or something,
Yeah.
or
that's okay.
I go to sex parties and I watch other people fuck. That's what I like to do. There's clubs out here in the Bay Area that you can do that at.
Oh, you
Yes.
live in California. That explains everything.
It explains a lot,
That's
yeah.
so you're one of the so you watch other people have sex, which is kind of
I'm a
interesting.
voyeur. Yes, I am a voyeur. I don't sneak and peep in other niggas' windows. But however, if people want to, in an open forum, fuck in front of me, I will sit there and watch with an intellectual rubbing of my beard, like, that's very interesting. Yes, I do that often.
Wow,
What do you mean?
that's
Wow.
that.
What the fuck? Why is everybody dick policing here?
Listen,
Why
I'm
is
not dick police.
everybody
Number
in
one,
this
well,
space?
I'm not dick policing you at all. And your penis is not involved. I'm talking about your eyes. I've just never heard somebody be so open with it. Listen, if you're open with it, at least you're honest, right? I can respect the fact that at least you're honest. I'm not here to say anything to you, but when it comes to pornography, I'm just saying pornography has had a detrimental effect on men, right?
Mhm.
And then it is also something now because now we have the whole cell phone infrastructure. In my opinion, is technology was made widely available in order to push pornography to men and use it as a weapon to
Mm.
destroy men. And it's a certain reason why you will go to other countries and they'll have and pornography will be illegal, but prostitution will be legal. I don't think pornography is not sex, right? It's it it would be like comparing weed to K2. You're watching somebody else, you're watching something that's not real, and some people, not yourself, pleasure themselves off of something that is not real to them, right?
Okay, here's the deal, man. Okay, men have been jacking off since men have been jacking off. That ain't going
Exactly.
nowhere. So rather it's the dirty thoughts in your mind, but because before porn became accessible, I used to imagine amazing things. And I mean, we going. I mean, I'm 40, so you can back when I discovered the holy grail of masturbation when I was sometime in the early mid 90s. Porn wasn't fully accessible like that. You had
Good.
to go steal your uncle's VHS collection in the basement somewhere,
Okay.
and it's so yeah. So either way it go, the amount or rate in which I need to get one off never changed. And the amount and rate in which I got one off never changed. The only thing that changed, it went from generated dirty thoughts in my mind or um digital visual pixelated dirty images on either a screen of a old box TV. Then eventually it evolved to a widescreen TV, then to a computer or to a computer screen or a widescreen TV, and then good old modernization put it right in my goddamn cell phone.
Okay.
It's like, so nothing really changed.
Nothing
It's just
really changed. You're telling
in
me
turn in,
men's
in terms in
socials.
terms of my desire to get one off in dirty images that helped me do it.
Okay.
Nothing changed.
What I'm saying is this: we get it, Bernard. For you, nothing has changed. What has
Okay.
happened to the social dynamics of society between men and women since it's become more widely available?
Mm, a lot of things. I think you're giving porn more credit than it deserves. Explain. Okay. Well, okay. The social dynamics between men and women. Okay. A
Yeah.
guy masturbating to porn regularly and having all that, able to get all that release out. I don't. I think it probably made him. It probably did two things. It probably made him less courageous when it goes to getting out and hollering at women. I'll say that. But I think it also made. I, th- I saw a study. I probably have to dig it up. Where when porn came out, became accessible like that. Sex crimes went down because
Hmm.
people were able to get their own little private release, and the only
You
release they couldn't. I mean, they wasn't
you would
dependent
you would have
upon.
to, you would have
Go
to
ahead.
show me those statistics because I'm telling you right now, the statistics prove otherwise. Especially when it comes to men, right? Pornography, and this is the whole idea of being benevolent to your society and understanding things. There's a reason why crack, there's a reason why Molly, there's a reason why all this kind of stuff is illegal, right? Or if it's not illegal, it's heavily regulated and people are warned of the detriments. But when it comes to pornography, most people don't know. And the reason why, you may be saying, hey, if this is what people want to do, I don't think that you're aware of how deadly this stuff is. And I don't think that you're aware of the traits of
people. Deadly?
I took that metaphorically.
Okay.
Exactly. I'm talking about what it does to a society in general. Right? You
right,
wonder why.
Okay, let's start point by point. Let's break down.
Let's go ahead and
what does it do to a society? Let's just start at the relationship level.
Absolutely.
At the relationship level. How does that affect male female relationships, and why?
We can start on male performance, right? There's something called PED, right? There's porn induced porn. I think PIED, porn induced erectile dysfunction, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. A lot of times, that has a lot to do with certain relationships between men and women, right? Would you adamantly sign up to have erectile dysfunction? Is that something that you want for yourself?
No, and I know exactly what you're talking about when you say porn-induced erectile dysfunction. That is, if you get so used to every time that you're about to perform, it's always just you and your phone, and then when you get a real woman there, it's like your brain has got hardwired to doing things a certain way, and then. So I actually found a I don't know.
Wait. But what?
Hold on. Time out. Let me lay it out. I did find a thread. I don't know if it was on Reddit where guys were basically explaining that, why is it that right when I could be hard the whole time I'm with this chick, but as soon as we're about to have sex, it goes down. It's basically, the guys were basically saying, and the consensus was it was related to. It was related to porn, and basically they had to conjure up some pornographic images or something like that to get themselves back in the mode, and then put it in, and then so it was a or I mean, like, you always can just tell her to suck it till it get hard and then go, but either way it go, it's either way it go. I do know what you mean, that an overuse of porn can have some effect on you, but I don't think it just makes it to where your dick don't work no more. It just changes how your brain dick in the blood flow to your dick, what triggers it and starts it, and then you may have to readjust if you go a long time only using porn, and then now you're messing with a real woman. Eventually you will readjust back to once you start back getting pussy regularly.
I agree with that, but I think that right now.
Let me get GC. Hold on, just real quick, Patriarch. Let me get GC on this.
Well, I think that if we're going to discuss that, we should also discuss Fed. And that is a huge problem. The Fed is affecting Black men in particular. The Fed is interjecting itself into the Black man's psyche that it must be this. Oh, I'm sorry. Fat-induced erectile dysfunction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's when you've fucked so many fat bitches that you don't know how to fuck an attractive one anymore. Your dick no longer properly functions for regular fit women, and that is because so many Black men have compromised and fucked fat women.
That's a real thing.
Hold on a second. But you're still having sex with a woman. You're not having sex with yourself, right?
Nevertheless, first of all, fat women are not women. To be clear, fat women are not women, and therefore don't deserve our love or respect. And if you are chronically addicted,
you would respect watching some other people have sex?
Absolutely, if they're not fat.
Okay.
Yeah.
But who
therefore
Go ahead.
Yeah. Therefore, you're not properly prepared for regular woman sex. And I think that is something that we should definitely discuss.
Okay. But the thing is this, I get what you're talking about in terms of obesity, but there's awareness for obesity, right? There are people who are actively against it, right? And there's a whole entire movements and systems and structures to get people off of this. It's not something people want to be. And what I'm talking about when it comes to pornography is I don't think people are really aware of the detriments that it has, not only to themselves, but a society at large, right? There's a reason why we talk about conservatism on this channel. there's a reason why other nations like Russia, like China, like all, they ban this stuff because of what it does to their men.
China, I mean, they already got issues in that department. So
In terms of China has issues in terms of what?
I'm
China,
just I'm,
China, in
I'm
my
just taking
opinion,
shots. I'm
but
just
this is
taking
my
shots.
opinion, right? China respects its men more than America respects its men. China would never allow women to trounce collectively over their men. They would never allow a system like that to happen. America would.
I agree.
And then and then another thing, right? China, when it comes to pornography, or Russia, right? Same thing with Russia. They would take necessary actions to prevent this. They would not leave human beings up to their own vices because it would destroy everything. And we have those safeguards in place when it comes to drugs, when it comes to firearms, when it comes to all this other stuff in the United States, right? We have safeguards in place because we know that this stuff is not good for people. And a lot of times people don't know what's good for them, and what they do will affect other people. And I will make the argument that pornography has done that. Pornography not only has destroyed men, destroyed marriage, destroyed relationships, caused men to get addicted to something that is like virtual reality, and it's not even real. And then once you get to the real thing, it'll affect that. But then it's also provided a lane for women to gain all of this power. It's provided a lane. Like, it's provided.
Elaborate.
Okay, I will elaborate. So I think a lot of the algorithms, right? A lot of YouTube, a lot of, I think when women come out and use male attention to gain something for themselves without giving anything out, right? I think that that's exploitation. I think when women come out and show themselves and men are not getting, like, I think that it's all about using men. And now they're being bold about even saying it, that it's all about using men and finessing men and stuff like that.
How is porn? How's that related to porn? I do understand that they're a bunch of stuck up bitches, but I think that that's more.
What do you have? What is OnlyFans? What is that? That is a lane for women to use men's carnal nature. It's exploitation.
No. I'm not talking about paying for it. I'm talking about free porn from X videos and Pornhub. Like, because you were talking about the free stuff. Like, how is that empowering women? I don't get it.
Number one, I'm not talking about that. I was talking about OnlyFans and other stuff, right? But if you want to,
no, I'm talking about porn. I don't do.
Okay, hold on a second. If you're talking about free porn, right? Let me ask you do you trust anything that is that widely available and just open to everybody?
Do I trust it? I trust that if I take it in moderation, it will give me the pleasure of watching porn.
Okay, but I'm asking you, why are history books harder to find? It's funny because I can use the Boys in the Hood argument, right?
Mhm.
Why are certain topics in history harder to find than pornography? And is pornography, it's aggressively pushed.
I mean, I could find history things.
History,
quite
pornography.
easily.
Wait a minute. There was no porn, but
No, I'm asking you, when it comes to the internet, when it comes to technology, right?
Yeah, no, I could Google historical facts as quickly as I can, Google porn.
Okay, what I'm saying is that all parts of history.
If I want to know what Frederick Douglass' wife's middle name is, I can Google that as quickly as I could find out, Capri Styles titty size.
Yeah, but when we Google the answer of what's Frederick Douglass' wife's middle name, we don't bust a nut afterwards. Like, that's why that is not easy to find. It's easy to find. It's like, so
but it is easy to find. But
I'm saying
as if it's difficult to find.
I'm saying certain things are behind a paywall and inaccessible to most people. Whereas this stuff, you have people
what historical
14,
fact is
you
behind
have 14
the paywall?
and 15. So I mean, I'm using other things, right? Like technology certification, stuff like that, right? I'm just using that.
Yeah,
as an
well,
example.
I mean, there's certain porns that's behind the paywall.
Okay, I agree, but I'm talking about, you made the argument of X videos and Pornhub, right? You made that argument.
Yeah, but I mean, there's Wikipedia and Google. Like, it's okay.
And Google doesn't censor things, and Wikipedia doesn't censor things?
Well, it also censors porn.
Really? Okay. So Google censors porn? What
Yes,
do
I
you
would
think?
assume
Do you think
so.
it's? Do you Google censors porn? You just said you could Google Capri Styles titty size.
No, okay, just like there's certain porns that Google censor, there's certain porn, just like there's certain historical facts that Google censors, I'm pretty sure, there's certain porn that Google censors. I mean, that's why Nambla, you know, can I mean, you don't see that shit around, and
Let
I'm
me
glad
ask.
for that.
Let me ask you a
All right,
question.
real quick before y'all get further upfield, I got super chats that were made back before we even got on the topic of porn. That's actually a lot more interesting than the main topic that we was on. So let me just acknowledge these super chats real quick, then I'm gonna go right back to you. Patriarch Strikes Back. But Nelly Nell in the building says, when you travel outside the U.S., it becomes more clear that American women, especially American Black women, lack femininity compared to the rest of the planet. Congratulations on 20K. Thank you very much for that, and thank you for the super chat. Do appreciate that. Oh wait, that's not a super chat. Sir Tice in the building says, patriarchy salute. Theory is actually factual. It just shows how social media has ruined the bulk of modern women. They're married to their dumb phone. Shout out to GC. Stop. GC, he says, stop the likes. Oh yeah, that's when you're talking about likes on the damn IG models. Agreed. But Rod of God podcast in the building says patriarchy is preaching. Absolutely. He makes some interesting points, even though I generally disagree about porn being detrimental. But a lot of the other stuff he said before that was I agreed with, and the stuff he's saying now is interesting. So I do want to keep exploring and go down this rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But Captain Cisco in the building says GC like to spank pogs. Nothing wrong with
What is a
spanking a
pog?
pog.
What so is pog does the
Fat
P stand
ass.
for pretty or because I
No,
know
fat.
it's
No, no,
ass
no, no,
white
no, no,
girls,
no, no,
but
no, no, no. A fat ass white girl. Now, okay, they don't mean like a fat ass white girl. They mean a white girl with a fat ass. You know,
oh yeah,
everything else is good. So
yeah,
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, so
I
yeah.
prefer to spank light skin or white women because I could see the red. I could see the ass turn red when I do it.
Oh God.
Yeah, but if you spank a
Listen.
dark skinned woman hard enough, you don't see the red, but it whelps
Yeah,
up
I'm
in
saying
the
it's
handprint.
harder to
It's
see
something.
the color change on a
Yeah.
darker
So
skin woman.
when you see that color change, you know you're handling business.
Yeah, true.
But anyway, all right, okay, carry
Listen.
on. Back to patriarchy.
Listen. I don't know. I'm just telling you this, right? And you are conservative, right? Bernard.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I want to see things change. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And there comes, this is the essence of politics in a country. You have to treat a country like you would treat your brother, right? If we're going to have any type of continuation, legacy, and change from where we are right now. So
Mm-hmm.
I would not recommend my brother to watch pornography because I know the detrimental effects that it has. So I'm not going to push this on society or think that it's something that society should do if I know that it's wrong. Just like I don't think cigarettes, hookah, you know, massive amount
Well,
of crack.
I guess the
I'll
stumbling
make
block here. Hold on, the stumbling block here is you haven't fully substantiated the claim that
about what
it's that it's wrong in a causal
I did.
practical type of way, in a pragmatic way.
Yeah.
Is wrong.
You,
I don't know if you fully substantiated that. And
okay.
let
I
me
can.
let me back
What
you
do
up
you
this
accept
far.
as evidence?
Hold on real quick before we get into that. This is my thing. Rather it's porn. Okay, well, first off, I hate when people ask personal questions when they're having a debate. But how old are you? Just curious.
Old enough to party.
Okay, well, okay, I guess yeah.
He's over
Okay,
21.
there was a time before porn was accessible. Like you do realize, like it was a time when men was jacking off to the aerobic channel, like the to the Miss America pageant, like like that was. So the point that I'm making is men are going to jack off to some type of visual female stimulation regardless. I understand that it's on steroids now, but
Okay.
men jacking off to the female image, whether it's in video, photo, magazine, that ain't going nowhere. Or just the dirty thoughts in the head. Like the whole term spank bank exists for a reason, where guys like would just look at chicks and get a good memory of everything they saw so they can go jack off to the shit later. I mean, it's
So
not.
okay.
So my thing is, it's hard to separate watching porn from jacking off, because when you are jacking off, it's porn going on in your head regardless. The thing that you're not going to stop is men beating their meat.
Okay.
What they beat their meat to is going to be a revolving door depending on how technologically advanced the society is. But beating the meat, that ain't going nowhere.
Okay,
And if
so
that ain't going nowhere, nasty pornographic graphic images, no matter where they get them from, ain't going nowhere.
Yep. Okay. So everybody listening, no, I'm just going to address this. This is the same abortion argument, right?
Okay, talk to me.
So once again, this is your abortion argument. Like it's going to happen. They're going to get a abortion in the back alley. Oh, it's going to happen. People are going to do. Does that mean we let it go on in abundance? Does that mean it's something that should be, not even paid attention to by the state, endorsed by the state, allowed by the state, allowed by common people? Right? Men are meant to be governed. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and steal a line from Master and Commander here. Okay, men are going to steal, men are going to lie, men are going to rob, men are going to do all type of things. Does that mean that I need to allow it to go on? Say, well, it's okay. Just have this lackadaisical attitude towards it.
It depends on what it is.
When you obviously see the detriments that it's having. We don't need any more programming of sexuality in America anymore. We're already off the rails with people thinking that there's something that they're not. You have people who are literally bombarded with images of women, right? Naked, half clothed, every single day, whether they turn on their phone, whether they drive down the street and see it on a billboard. This is programming people. And when you become sexually open to just doing everything, that allows yourself to have certain things step into the door that you may not want to see. It's a slippery slope. And you just said it on this channel that after watching porn, you were open to some things that you might not have been open to before. This stuff is brainwashing.
It's brain. Okay, here. This is my thing. When I determine whether or not something wrong, I ask who is it hurting? Whether it's not something is moral or not, because I believe you're behaving morally if in your actions you attempt to minimize harm within reason. So from that standpoint, the abortion argument or the men need to be governed, otherwise they will run amok. Yes, that's to minimize bodily harm to people. That's to minimize the amount of people who will get stabbed, who will get robbed, who will get murdered, or who will get raped, or who will that's what we're trying to minimize. When you're policing porn, for lack of a better word, when you're policing porn, you're mostly policing what's going on really up here. It's like it's like the close cousin of thought policing. I can have all kinds of dirty images in my head, but watching those dirty images, no, you can't do that. Well, you can't stop me from thinking about the shit. So it turns into a situation where it's like that's the slippery slope you're going down. You're flirting with the close cousin of having a Christopher Hitchens called it a celestial North Korea, somebody in your head.
He's an atheist.
I know.
Well, but I do want to thought, like I'm a conservative. I do want to thought police men. I want men to be focused on their goals, gaining muscle, being disciplined, not being as depressed, and all of these things that I'm focused on. Porn is diametrically opposed to all those things. It has negative effects on all those things. It has negative effects on your body, on your testosterone, right? It has negative effects on how disciplined men can be, right? It has negative effects on what their mind is. People are more apt to start being depressed. People are more apt to start being in with all type of different mental issues.
There's a correlation between porn and depression.
Yes, there is. Go look it
up.
I'm
hold on. I'm gonna ask you to substantiate that, but real quick, we got to take a quick break. Rod of God with the $50 super chat, but that ain't. I mean, I won't say that ain't nothing, but it's looking like nothing because he sent $100 cash app as well. So shout out to Rod of God for becoming a sponsor of the show today. Appreciate you coming through real big and heavy-handed. Shout out to Rod of God podcast. He ain't even been posting no content on his channel, but still get his link spammed through the chat room for when he so people can go over there, be ready for him when he come back. But shout out to Rod of God podcast. Appreciate you supporting hard and heavy-handed. Do appreciate it. All right, Patriarchy dropped a link in the back that I will get into. I don't know if I could, sit here and read.
But
read it all on the air, but I'll take your word that there's a correlation. There's a correlation between porn and depression. Wow, I'm
testosterone lowered, all of that. So for me, I'm just saying, I'm telling you this, right? I do want to listen, kill the head, the body will follow. Okay.
Mhm.
I do want a thought police, right? And every man should be policing his own. Well, this is just a Christian in me, right? You should be policing your own thoughts. You should be taking every thought captive anyway. And this is what I'm saying. Another thing, right? I can guarantee you, and this is all speculation, that the people that you would call simps, or the people that have this need for female attention, it's caused by this stuff. This is what plants the seeds in these people's heads, because they're being bombarded with this stuff. It's aggressively advertised to them.
Elaborate.
You don't
make the correlation between a need for female attention and porn.
I'd say it was a speculation.
So,
you don't think? So let me ask you a question. Does somebody with a porn addiction, right? Let's just say specifically watching what type of porn is on. Do they have a need for women?
Well, there's a difference between a desire to want to fuck a woman and a desire for her attention.
Oh, okay. Well, what are they watching?
They're watching a man fuck a woman. Okay. Typically. I mean, there's all different types of porn.
She's not giving him attention. She's
no. I'm saying.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. What's the correlation between the need for female attention and watching porn?
Do you think porn increases? This is a question. Do you think it increases or decreases how men view women?
I don't know if that's quantifiable. Like, I mean, increase in what way? Like, I don't think more or less.
Let's let him explain that. Let's let him explain that. Increase or decrease.
I said earlier.
Patriarchy, I just want to point out this argument really leans towards really. I don't want to say being protective of. Well, okay, man. No,
it is protective of men.
I was about to say protective of women. If it's affecting, it's going to affect how men view women and treat women and love women and their ability to properly make love to a woman. It's like
I'm not talking.
Hold on, borderline on some.
No. I'm not talking about women's attention towards men. Hold on a second. Let me step back here. I'm talking about men's attention towards women. When you look at porn, what are you looking at?
You're looking at
men fucking women.
Okay, typically. So what are you giving your attention to?
Well, okay. Here's the thing.
On my phone.
Okay,
it continues. Well, right quick. It continues my desire to fuck women. Like, it's not like I didn't have that desire before.
Okay, and let me ask you, for your opinion, is that what men need right now in America? Do they need more of a desire of that?
I don't know if I have more. Like, no matter what, the desire is there.
Okay, the thing what I said of attention is, what are they spending their attention? What are they giving their attention to? Your attention is your life.
No. You were saying that it increases a man's need for a woman's attention.
No, I was saying that they're giving attention to the woman.
They're not. That's okay, put it like this. If they're giving attention to porn, they're not giving attention to the woman.
Okay, so pornography has nothing to do with women.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, listen, when this whole
giving attention to women virtually.
This whole conversation started when I was talking about don't hit the like button on Instagram.
Okay.
That's giving attention to the women. Watching porn and not hitting the like button is just doing that. Now, I will say, maybe
watching porn. Hold on a second, time out.
You're still watching.
Maybe they
get the views. Maybe
you're
they
still
get the
watching.
views.
But you're
But
still
what you're
watching it.
describing as simp behavior,
But
that
you're
does
still
not
watching.
fly, sir.
But you're
That does
still.
not fly.
Hold on a second.
Simp behavior is going out from woman to woman, begging them for pussy because you are incapable of jacking off. That is simp behavior.
According to who?
Huh?
According to who? I personally think giving your attention. So let's go back to what you said.
So
before.
you're saying
Okay,
don't
can I
give
finish my
attention to porn.
point?
Let him finish his
Okay.
point.
Thank you. Okay. So he said, as long as I don't hit the like button, so I can watch the woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as long as I don't hit the like button, it's fine. You're still giving your attention to woman. You're still giving your eyesight. You're still giving your time. The difference is maybe you're just a virtual reality simp. You're still giving your time, your focus, your attention to a woman. And it's not even, and it's even worse because it's not even a woman that you're around or a woman that you're even having. You're giving your attention to a woman that some other man is having sex with. So for me, that's even worse.
Let's put it like this. It's better, at least she's sucking dick for this attention. Like, I feel that all women should, if you're going to give them your attention, then make them suck a dick for it. Make them rigorously take a Asian gangbang.
But it's not your dick.
Huh? Yeah, it's not my dick.
Woman, but that's what I'm saying.
It's not my dick, granted.
But
make her suck a dick for it.
But this is what I'm saying.
Okay, let's put it like this. You're saying don't watch women on the internet.
You're watching
at all,
another man's penis.
Huh?
If you said you're watching them have sex, you are watching another man's penis.
Yeah, that's often how porn works.
While touching your own.
Okay, there's a difference between being turned on by her titties versus turned on by his.
This is when dick policing.
I'm joking. I'm fucking with you, Gage.
All right.
Let me try to
re-steer the conversation. Okay. Shout out to Sir Tice. He's raising a good point. I don't know exactly where he's going. He says, "Wait a minute. We talk about morality. We talk about what's wrong culturally with Black people." So, when I look at morality, I measure it in terms of does their actions generally attempt to minimize harm? You can't prevent it completely, but do you move and act in a way that minimizes harm? That's how I typically view morality. But he says, wait a minute, we talk about morality, but it seems when it conflicts with dudes' interests, dudes are now deflecting like females we criticize. Now, I don't know if he's referring to me and Game Changer on that one. That's what I'm assuming. And shout out to Sir Tice. I shouted you out earlier. I met Sir Tice chopped it up in person last night. That's my guy. But yeah, he was down in Detroit. But
didn't even get an invite.
You wouldn't come in either way. but see, here's the deal. I'm trying to figure out, I pay close attention to whether or not I'm deflecting from an issue. And the only reason it may seem like I'm deflecting on this one, because I'm not convinced that the amount of harm that is caused in somebody watching porn and getting one off is bad. Like I can assess the amount of harm for somebody being a condom off, reckless serial impregnator, going from chick to chick, condomless, and busting in them and getting them pregnant and the whole world. I can measure the harm in that. I can't measure the harm. It's almost like it's potential harm if this individual. I can't measure the harm in somebody just looking at it.
That's because it's minimal. That's because it's minimal. Very few people.
It's minimal.
Yes, it's minimal. Yes. What percent of the population? What percent of the male population is addicted to porn? Let
me ask you a question. Oh, it's a big. I don't know, but
how much? How big?
How big? Here's the deal.
But it's a lot. It's a lot.
Okay, so there's 100 guys out there.
Wait a minute. Time out.
So you pick 100 guys. How many are addicted to porn?
Here's the deal. I guarantee
it's a big population. It's a big.
What's big?
I bet the population. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Are actually
time out.
addicted to porn? It is minimal. No, it's not 97%. No, it is minimal. It is
a game changer. Can you hear me?
Damn it.
Okay, hold on. I would bet that the amount of people that are addicted to porn probably runs parallel with the amount of people that are addicted to sex, because the amount of people that are addicted to sex runs parallel with the amount of people that have to bust a nut every day. So I that's why I don't think this matters. I mean, I just want don't think it's as big of a problem. But I do want to see what Pablo got to say on this, because we kind of good conversation, but we kind of going in circles. But I want a fresh mind on this one. So go ahead, Pablo. You got the floor. You got the mic.
All right. So I find myself in a weird position of defending prostitution, which I'm defending pornography, which I'm not going to do.
I would rather have open prostitution than pornography.
Aha! I was about to boil down that alley.
By the way.
So, have you ever heard the term hookers? Right? Do you know where the term hookers comes from?
No, sir.
It comes from a man by the name of General Hooker. He was a general.
I'm sorry. That's
I had a whole show on this with SKC. We did a whole show on this on my channel. General Hooker was a general in the Union Army in the Civil War.
No, he was a captain. Before he became a general, he was Captain Hook.
He was Captain Hooker, right?
Okay.
You're right. Game Changer is correct. He was Captain Hooker. He became a general, right?
Yeah.
But
seriously?
In essence,
are we talking about Peter Pan?
No.
Okay. All right.
No.
All right.
I will.
Carry on.
Go ahead.
No. but there is a real life General Hooker, and General Hooker led an army for the Union Army, and the morale of his troops was becoming very, very low. They had desertions. They had, morale problems. And he enlisted some what they call camp followers or public women, which he allowed to follow his troops and service the soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
And Colonel Hooker's brigades were known to be quite rowdy. They drank hard. They partied,
mm-hmm.
But they fought valiantly. So much so, they actually set aside an area of Washington, D.C. for the Union troops to go and sow their oats, because a lot of these guys were farm boys and they were away from their wives and girlfriends. And what happened, they began to read the letters of these soldiers to find out what was going on. Well, guess what was in the letters? All kinds of nasty, pornographic thoughts being spilled out in the dialect of the day, of course, not the language that we would use today. But he found out, hey, these guys are writing nasty letters to their wives and girlfriends back at home. We got to get them laid if we want to keep them here fighting and on their job. We got to get them laid. So General Hooker set aside an area of Washington, D.C. that was a red light district. And the Union troops, when they would take their leave, they would go have their fun and return back to their units. And thus the Civil War was won.
No.
So you're basically saying men who are getting their balls emptied are more...
That's not how the Civil War was won.
Well, it was a part of it.
You're giving women too much credit. Why didn't the boys?
I'm not giving the women credit. I'm giving General Hooker the credit for the on-site that his men needed morale. They needed that.
General Hooker was terrible, right? The South, and I'm going to ask you, right?
So General Hooker won.
Excuse me.
Would you like for me to rattle off the wins, the military victories of General Hooker?
Okay, I know Robert E. Lee spanked him pretty well. Let me just say something really quick.
Robert E. Lee's a loser.
Robert E. Lee's a loser, yeah, but who won? Didn't General Hooker lose some battles?
Yeah, but he won more than he lost, sir.
What? Okay, I'll get that from you on the back end. What I'm going to say is this: the South basically yielded victory, right, to the North. Are you telling me it was the South? Excuse me. Are you going to tell me it was the South's lack of women why they went to Gettysburg? Are you going to tell me it was the South's lack of women of why they went up north? Are you going to tell me
No, they were.
let me finish, dude. Are you going to tell me that the reason Stonewall Jackson got shot by his own man was because that man wasn't watching pornography? Like, these were all decisions that led to the South losing.
Do you Negroes only think in one line? No.
All right.
That's
I
not
don't want to
maybe
get
a half
far
a line.
afield into talking about why the Civil War was won or
The
lost.
South blew
Pablo's
it. Like,
general point, as I took it, is that there was a need for men to get one off, and they provided way for them to get one off via actual women.
Okay, so you're saying
I
actually
think,
having,
and I
wait a
think,
minute.
the
and
Northern
and
Army
what
was
happens
terrible.
today is I understand the argument that porn replaces over periods of times and droughts or in between, porn replaces that. There are some people like Patriarch who argues that men would be better if they only got sex once a week, those 6 days, if they weren't able to bust a nut in those 6 days. Like, no, don't even touch yourself. I think
That's not my
that's
argument.
okay. So
My
your argument
argument is porn is detrimental, right? It has different effects on rewiring men's brain, dopamine. It also has effects on erectile dysfunction. And I'm saying that it can be tied to other things as well. I'm not blaming the other things such as depression or bad health or things like that, because I think depression is mostly mental. I'm saying that you're giving attention, you're giving your time, your attention, your effort, right, to some things that I don't think are positive. And I can say that the same way that I can say I don't think it's good for a guy to eat 20 Twinkies, even though I think pornography is worse, collectively speaking, on our society than somebody eating a bunch of junk food. I think what it's done to America in terms of America's men and their attention and their need and their desire for women, right, whether it be virtually or in person, is just an absolute disaster. Somebody's paying these women money through OnlyFans. Somebody's doing that.
I think
Somebody's looking at this stuff, and that's because they're being allowed to do so.
what
Okay.
about
Now,
Whereas,
this
may
though?
I
What
explain my
about this
general
thought? And
thinking
I do want to
preference?
go. I do want to go to Ride a Guy, but what do you think about this patriarchy? Women essentially having the freedom, and by freedom I mean social freedom, without the social criticism, to do what they want when they want and fuck who they want
no, I
whenever
don't
they
believe in
want.
that.
And they're basically doing whatever they want to do. And it's enough data to show that we don't know that I can't put an exact number on it, but it's a relatively small percentage of men that they give up sex too fast, quick, easy, and in a hurry. And it's created a market of men that
Yep.
basically, I mean, I think women have ultimately engaged in the actions and behaviors that created this market of men that kind of need to bust a nut to some porn.
Okay,
What do
and
you
that's
think?
because, and my thing is this: if men weren't so distracted with their need for women, we wouldn't. None of this would be happening. This, like I said, men are asleep at the wheel, right? And this is one of the things in the deadly cocktail that put them asleep was pornography. I just don't think I think it's detrimental. Dude, we have to ask ourselves this question. We have to ask ourselves why our enemies, right, who we a lot of times say have a better sense of masculinity than us, why in their countries is porn illegal but prostitution is legal? Because this stuff is dangerous to men.
All right. Perfect Storm in the building says hetero men should never watch porn with men in it or girl on girl. You could have just said never hetero men should never watch porn. Because basically you eliminated all types of porn that a hetero man would watch. So, but
Well, I mean, it's dick policing basically. To say that you should never watch this, that's dick policing in its worst.
No, you're not using your dick. You're using your eyes.
And I'm
Well,
jacking my dick.
maybe it's hand
Therefore,
policing. Maybe they're policing your
therefore it
hand.
is dick policing. I'm using my
it's
eyes
hand.
to feed my dick. Therefore, it is dick policing. Just like when I say don't fuck fat bitches, I'm using my eyes to determine that they're fat. But me not fucking them is that. So yes, it is that. And no, you are policing my dick.
Y'all are on two extremes of the spectrum because it sounds like patriarchy would be more supportive of a man fucking a fat chick and Game Changer say before you fuck a fat chick, you better off you go jack off the porn before you go die on the sword
Listen, it's
before
both
you stick your
of them
dick in
are
a fat
dead. I
chick.
don't disagree with everything he has to say about women
But
who are overweight, but I'm just saying that if you're going to things that are overweight, these women are bad because they're overweight. So you look at obesity as wrong. And I'm telling you, you look at obesity as wrong because it's detrimental functionally, right? And what I'm telling you is this stuff can be just as detrimental.
So
all
is
right.
it porn
It is
or
not
is it,
just as detrimental.
or is
There's
it that
nothing more
the U.S.
detrimental than a
is a
fat ass bitch.
sexually
Understand this: there are more men out there, you know, who has fed than has pornography induced ED. That's for damn
How would
sure.
you know when like 70%
Because
of
I
porn is
see it. I
consumed by
see. I
men?
see. I see
Oh,
far
you
too
do
many of you
you
black
see
men
men?
with
You
fat
see?
ass bitches.
Oh,
And
oh,
and in
or do
my
you?
circles, I
One
don't
second.
know of many who are suffering from erectile dysfunction.
Okay.
And you say, how do I know?
Well,
How
you
do
know
you
that.
know?
You know
How
that.
do
But
you even
okay.
know that it
Well, first
exists?
off, well, maybe
Because
you're
you
right.
don't
Wait a
know
minute.
the
Okay,
amount
hold on a
and the
second.
quantity that it exists.
All
Listen,
right.
I don't know because I don't watch
there,
other men have sex in
fellas.
person.
I
You're
am
right
not
about that.
here to
I
police
don't
your
watch
opinion.
other men have sex in
You
person,
are
so you
out
may be
there
right
and
about that.
you may watch what you want. It is your prerogative. You can do what you want to do. And if you
So can
want
they
to,
watch fat women?
huh?
You said you were talking about fat women. Can they watch fat women then?
Yes, they can, but they
Oh, okay.
shouldn't. They
Okay.
shouldn't. You dishonor yourself and your family by doing such a thing. You do not dishonor yourself and your family by watching porn, as long as that porn consists of better women. You see, here's the thing. Sometimes you're gonna have to hold out. You're gonna have to hold out and not deal with the insatiable appetite of a chick with an insatiable appetite, i.e., the fat chick. And in doing so, you can cope with this loss any way you choose, up to and including porn. There is a hierarchy of sexual depravity, and fucking fat bitches is at the top of it.
And not going to places to physically watch other people have
All right.
sex
That
is
is
not a part of that.
Yes, that you damn right. You damn right. It is far better to be a voyeur like myself and watch other people fuck than it is to fuck a fat bitch. There is a level of depravity, and that is the most depraved.
Okay.
All
And
right.
where's
All right.
your level? Where's the level at from that? Where's a man who goes to watch another man have sex with a woman, and where's that at? What level on the list is that?
Fuck if I know. But I do
Okay.
know that
He is consistent, though. I will give him that.
I do
All
know
right.
that it's a lot better to do. Put it like this: I would much rather do that, like all the other people who watch porn in the world, than to fuck a fat bitch.
I got you.
Okay.
got you.
All right. Let's
Rather
pump
watch
the
a
brakes
man
real
have
quickly.
sex.
We
I
do
got you.
got to go to Roddy God Boy first. Dr. Thunder in building with the
Fat
$5
bitches
super
are
chat
not pretty
says
as well.
20. Hold on,
Oh, my
20K.
bad.
Well, hold on. I'm reading super chats. Come
Oh,
on
my
now.
bad,
Come on
my
now.
bad.
Come on now, fella. All right, Dr. Thunder in the building. My mic is sounding right? My mic is sounding normal,
Yeah, you good.
loud enough. Okay, cool. Just making sure. Because I be fucking with settings and fucking up and all kind of stuff. All right, Dr. Thunder in the building with $5 super chat says 20K salute. Absolutely, man. Thanks. I appreciate it. All right, we going to Rod of God, the
Can
show
I say something
sponsor
real
of the
quick
day.
before we go to Rod of God?
Okay, real quick.
Fat women don't have faces, so how in the fuck can they be pretty?
Okay.
Like, what part of them is pretty without a face? It don't make no damn sense. You know, oh, it's okay if they're pretty. There's no such thing as a pretty fat bitch.
All right. Rod of God in the building. The show sponsor of the day came through hard and heavy handed on the super chat and the Cash App. And this is sort of right up your alley. And I'm, patriarchy already hitting us with the moral argument. And I know Rod of God about to break out some the Bible, the holy water, and he about to get it popping up. Go ahead, you got it.
When our light skin powers combine.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, yeah, salute patriarchy, man. Salute salute Pablo. Yeah, man, of course I agree with patriarchy, but I have to also admit, I've said this in my own content, like the thing about God is that he does not expect men to be anything other than men. And we as Christians sometimes, I think we kind of get a kind of like legalism is what it's called, where it's like, this is wrong, so don't do it. And it's like, but you gotta understand that when God says that, no one listens. You know, it's very few. And even those of us who listen, right? He chose us. He's the one, you know, giving us the ability to, you know, overcome our more base desires, right? So it's like I agree with patriarchy in terms of porn, and it definitely, I think, not only has a detrimental effect on your performance, I think it also has a detrimental effect on your mental health. Like you were saying, BR, your ability to just go out and just, like, you know, gain, whatever you want to call it, talk to a woman, approach a woman. I do think it affects that because it's draining all your damn, you know, all your what you call it, mojo, you know, and because instead of it being directed in the way that we were designed to get that out, it's this artificial kind of supplement, right? That being said, every man on the fucking place on the face of the planet pretty much has watched porn. Let's say in the West, every man in the West, and young boys and all women in the West watch porn or have watched porn. So another thing about God is you can't be a hypocrite, right? If you yourself have ever watched any type of pornographic material, you are not in a position to judge those who, whether they watch it one time like you or a million times. That's the way the Lord works, because he is the one who is pure and holy. He is the one who can judge. We can tell our brothers, like, yo, man, you know, try not to watch that porn, man. It's not good for you, man. Like, try to, you know, get you some real pussy. But in God's eyes, and Jesus says it right in the Bible, whether you watching porn,
man, God ain't okay with you going to get the real pussy. Like, what?
but he's not okay with you watching the porn or
no. But I mean, but Rod, you're missing the point. God wants us to watch porn. It says so in the Bible.
Where
it says so in the Bible, and
what the part where it said be unfruitful, the part where it says be unfruitful and don't multiply.
It says
it tell you to go watch another man have sex through virtual reality? Where does it talk about that?
It says it.
Okay, listen. Hold on, wait. Time out. We got to dead that. When we watch porn, we're watching the other woman have sex. The dude is just a prop.
Watching another man with his penis out.
He's a prop. We're watching the woman.
You're watching props.
Okay. Can I say something? Can I say something?
I come.
Can I
come for the woman in more ways than
conversation?
No, I'm not even going to entertain that, because they're just trying to shame. They're just trying to shame you into not watching it. God wants us to watch porn. He made us to watch porn. He made Eve. Stop talking. He made Eve naked, and then he got mad when she put clothes on. The moment Eve put clothes on, God was like, "What the fuck? Your ass is supposed to be." Yes, he was. He punished her for wearing clothes. After she ateth of the fruit of wisdom, he was like, "Hey, why aren't you naked? Bitch, I made you naked." Like, he's basically saying you were supposed to be naked. You were supposed to be visually naked for Adam at all times. So yes, he wanted us to watch the female form in a pornographic way. Also,
was Adam pleasuring himself?
Yes, exactly. He said unhide those clothes. Also, God watches porn. You want to know why? Because he is omniscient. You want to know what that means? It means that let me say this. It means that he sees all. He sees all, including people fucking. That
means it means he has the ability to see all.
And God told you. You saying that God never seen somebody fucking?
God told you to have sex. Hold on a second. No. Go to his argument. No, hold on a second. Go to it. No. He's going.
God seen people fucking. And not only does he watch porn, he watched people watch porn.
God, though.
No, he does not. He says in the Bible, he does not. Hold on a second. Let me finish. Patriarchy, bro. You been up here the whole time. This got up here. He says,
"You late." Go ahead, Rod.
In the Bible, that he does not look upon an evil thing. He does not sit and watch evil. Now, when it comes time to judge, him having the ability to see it all, he can access it, right? He can open up that file and burn your ass alive and throw your ass in hell. But he's not looking at that. Wrong.
Takaris, like that.
Okay, so Mark said omnipresent. No, omniscient, sees all. Omnipresent means that he's everywhere. Omniscient means that he sees everything. No, I know.
All knowing. It means all knowing.
Omniscient.
Okay, all knowing. So he knows you fucking.
Yeah.
Yes.
The point is that God watch people fuck all the time.
Okay. Bullshit. All right. So
All right,
So
real
It is
quick, hold on.
godly to do that.
All right,
God
I
Why
told
do
you
you
to have
think
next
they call it
patriarchy.
missionary position, Rod? Why do you think it's called missionary position?
He
Because it's
wants you to
under
do
the
that to
eyes
a
of the
fat
Lord.
woman.
All right, hold on, wait. Pablo, I saw what you put in the private chat. I'm gonna come back to that in a second.
Yeah, no problem.
But real quick, Fawcett Media in the building. Shout out to your channel. Been growing, been noticing your channel growing like crazy too. Shout out to you. He says if they had a dime and had ED, if they had a dime, okay, I see what you're saying. A dime as in dime piece. Okay, I was wondering what the fuck you talking about. I thought you were talking about a dime, like in money. Okay, if they had a dime and had ED, then you have a problem. But there's not enough data on that because dudes out here chasing average women. Thank you for the super chat. Do appreciate that. All right, we're gonna go to patriarchy. Want to hear his point, and then we're gonna go circle back to a point that Pablo was making. Go ahead. Patriarchy strikes back. You got the floor. You got the mic.
Yeah, I gotta leave here in a minute. But first off, I love Game Changers trolling. But Game Changer, God told you to have sex with fat women because God created them.
God
I
didn't
think he
create fat
created them
women.
skinny.
Hold on. No.
Listen. Butter and mayonnaise created fat women, okay? You know.
But I'm just saying.
And God also created sheep. That doesn't mean that you should fuck them. Let's be clear. God watches porn.
Okay, so once again, number one, you're not God. Okay. Number two,
No, I'm not.
Okay, so then you're trying to say God watches porn because it's your way of saying God created people who are nude and watch things. I can say
I'm saying that God is omniscient.
There's a bunch of things I can say that God watches based upon your argument, but I get what you're trying to say, right? But number one, you are not God, right? And then number two, I just want to make it clear. Are you saying that men giving their attention to other men having sex with women and pleasuring themselves to something that they're not even around, are you telling me that that's what God wants people to do?
I'm saying that he doesn't frown upon it because he does it himself.
Okay. God also wipes people out, but tells other people not to do it, right? He strikes people down. He tells other people not to do it, right? Because he's God.
But I'm just...
And then, hold on. There's a position of authority in that, right?
Good point.
And so my thing is, I also wanted to know that how do you know personally what God frowns on, and what are you basing your arguments on for that?
I'm not saying that he frowns on something or anything. What I'm saying is that he watches porn. So, and that was to counter what Rod of God was saying, that he's above watching two people fuck. Okay. That is what I'm saying. Now, as far as what do God frown upon, God frowns upon bitches wearing clothes. And this is said in Genesis chapter 3, verse 17. Or no, excuse me.
He never tells women to cover themselves. You're right.
Yeah, exactly. God specifically said, bitch, why your clothes off? Or on. Why you wearing clothes? So that's how I know, because the Bible tells me so.
So, okay, so it's funny that you even say,
look at his burn.
Hold on a second. He's trolling or whatever, but it's fine. It's fine. The thing is, it's so interesting because I do think he has a
God
point.
didn't make her some clothes. She got
Let me finish talking, dude. Like,
oh, my bad.
I do think he has a point when he says God watches porn, I guess he said, because God sees other people have sex. So this goes back to my whole point of what's happening right now, right? From my very first argument of how human beings have attempted the same way they did in the Tower of Babel, right?
Wasn't it Babel? Tower of Babel?
Sorry, my bad, Babel. I'm thinking about the god that Jezebel worshipped. My mistake. They are attempting to.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you. Jezebel did worship Baal. They're attempting to create a God machine to replace God. And that's exactly what happened in the Tower of Babel. So the fact that the cell phone or technology, right, it wants to offset God's natural order. And I will make the correlation argument, not the causation argument. I will say that ever since we've gotten technology, right, and that technology has become infested with pornography, and I think that was a part of it. Pornography, to me, has been something that has been weaponized against God's leader. And that is why we now see men who are not leading, because we have people who are taking their time, effort, attention, money, even though they might not be hitting the like button, as Game Changer said, and they're putting it into something that they should not be doing. And we found a way to create this big distraction, right, that is widely available. Meanwhile, the same thing will censor everything else. Will censor certain doctors in California. You'll have to go through a paywall to learn about the Haitian Revolution, which I just did the other day, right? You'll have to go through all of these different things just to find basic information, but yet a 15, 16-year-old, right? Because that's another thing. A lot of these people get introduced to it at such an early age,
That's true nowadays.
are able to access this stuff by technology. And so what I will say is I will make a Game Changer's argument that he is correct about what God has to do. But every time human beings have tried to recreate God's power by deleting children or by cloning or by watching porn, as you said before, it leads to the detriment of his natural order. And with that, I really got to go here. It was a good conversation, but I got to go.
Salute patriarchy. Hey,
All right,
just a
peace.
quick clarification. God does not watch porn. He's not pleasuring himself. If he sees people having sex, it's just his design. I'm sorry. I just had to clarify that for y'all.
All right.
No, I
Peace,
never
patriarchy. I always enjoy your perspective. Always enjoy your perspective, even when
All right, peace.
even when I disagree. Peace, man. All right.
All right.
I'm not saying that he pleasures himself. I personally don't know. I'm saying that he watches it. That's all I'm saying.
He doesn't watch. Come on.
He's omniscient.
It's an argument that I understand, but it's not nothing I want to get bogged down on. If God is all knowing and it's almost nothing happens without his knowledge. So if it's happening, he knows it's happening. He's all knowing. He's all powerful. It's like he knows all, sees all. I mean, it's hard to get around it. Even though I understand, I don't know. I feel like we get into semantics when we start talking about that. But it's almost like you can't say something. You can't say there's an all-knowing, omnipotent, omniscient a deity who unaware of something. It's not possible. If you're all powerful and you're all knowing, you got eyes on everything. That just is what it is. I don't know. I ain't even about to try to even go through the mind trap of trying to even talk myself out of that one. Number
Father God, do you watch porn?
Occasionally, yes.
Okay.
You know what's funny? Because I see somebody like Rod and Patriarch, and forgive me, Rod and God, but y'all are y'all be like, timid.
They want the perfect world argument.
Feeling bad, hand shaking. I don't want to do it, but I can't help it.
No. And let me tell you, when I break down and I break out my phone, there ain't no guilt. I'll go and look at exactly, and I'm very specific.
So when it's go time, it's go time. You'll repent about it later. Okay, cool.
That's the point I was trying to make. The patriarchy is Christians can get so hung up on like being legalistic. That's not. If you really read the Bible, that's not what God is talking about. He knows men are going to watch porn. Like that's what Christ died for, to cover the fact that we just gonna do whatever the fuck we want to do. So it's never about that. Like I think patriarchy is a young Christian. He has a little more growing to do.
All right. Number 16 in the building said, how do we get here? Because a Game Changer said something about liking pictures on Instagram, and Patriarchy Strikes Back says that's no different. It somehow got warped into porn is no different. If you're watching porn, you're ultimately still giving women undue attention. I think that was how the argument started. But shout out to number 16, and shout out to Jackie Loves Jack. That's weird. Okay, all right. Name change. Okay, cool. Says Jackie Jack says, I'm not religious, but patriarchy and Rod got some points. Yes, they're interesting. They're interesting. Like I said, I like an interesting take or whatever. But thank you, Jackie
No,
Jack.
it's
Thank
not.
you,
No,
number
no.
16.
What
Thank
she's
you,
trying to do,
Fawcett
Bernard, is she's
Media.
trying to she don't like the competition that porn breeds. She wants her titties to be the only ones that people see. Her clothed titties. That is what she wants. It makes more attention for her.
She
It's
want
not a
her
matter of
upper.
religion.
She want her upper cleavage to
Exactly.
to be the only to be the only thing in the room. But if we could see full areola and nipples, just on the same phone that we're watching her cleavage, then it's like that. So she's just
They're less spectacular.
Yeah,
Her
trying to
cleavage
limit.
become less spectacular to a group of men that can freely see bare titties, or we could watch Swordfish in that scene where Halle Berry had the bra on, and it was better than the actual titty scene. Like, we could watch that as many times as we want to, and it lessens Jackie's titties. It does.
So can I get my point
all
off
right,
now?
now Pablo, yeah, I'm gonna throw you back to your point, but man, you got a screen share down there that looks like, is that woman naked?
No, she is not naked. No, it is not.
She does have underwear on those.
Underwear on, yes.
Okay, from it's small on my screen, so it looked like she
no, it's not
demonetized. Okay, all right, that's just okay. All right, so why am I looking at this?
It's close. So this is a 1960s era pinup girl, late 60s, early 70s, Vietnam era type, Korean War type shit, right?
Okay. She arcing that back. She arcing that back. Even back then, they knew what they knew what to do. God damn it!
I don't know. I think that's modern, man. They trying to make it look.
It's not modern.
Oh, that's a good point.
I
was playing around with Photoshop and I did that with a picture just because. Okay, I don't even know what I was into, but anyway, yeah.
My point being,
you can make new pictures look old timey. Yeah,
right. But there are thousands of these from World War II, World War I, whatever. The militaries of various nations allowed pornography to their soldiers. And you ask, well, why, Pablo, would they do such a thing? Because my point was about General Hooker, was that in order to keep order and focus among the men, certain vices must be given room to this for good order. Men have vices. And if you do not let them have their vices, they will not work for you.
Yes.
They won't work for you.
And even God knows that.
Oh, shit.
Right. Their pleasure.
Oh, shit. Pablo
so I understand patriarchy's, utopian view, but that ain't the way the world works. And the men of the leaders of the greatest military in the history of the planet realize that, and guess what? They allow it. Not only do they allow it, they provide it. That's all.
Fair points. Men do need devices, and listen, I understand the point. Devices are on steroids nowadays, just like everything else. The reason that we're hungry or reason that we're fat is because years ago, the time before time, thousands of years ago, hundreds of thousands of years ago, 50,000 years ago, even if we go all the way back pre-civilization, when resources were scarce, we had to have that hunger in order to keep us, driving and hunting and going and thrive and try and do whatever we can to get to that, get to these scarce resources. Like it was a survival advantage that got hardwired into us to be hungry all the damn time. Now that we got an overabundance of food, it's like we have to make ourselves stop. We literally have to force ourselves to stop, otherwise we'll be fat. So I understand that having an overabundance of food, having an overabundance of of porn, you name it. It's yes, I get that it can be a problem, but that's sort of the name of the game nowadays. It's on each individual to manage in their own, desire and will, or this or that. I think, it's I wish Patriarch was on here so I could hit him with this. If you're conservative, or I don't know if you consider yourself a Republican and you believe in smaller government, but it sounds like he want governmental control over certain things. And it's like, that's where I can't go with it. I think it's things like that, porn, especially if you ain't hurting nobody but yourself. Always say it's up to you to police yourself on how much you're going to indulge, whether you do it, sparingly, or do it every night before you go to sleep.
And everything in moderation. Yeah. Everything in moderation.
Or every night before you go to sleep.
Yeah, or every night before you go to sleep.
Exactly.
And that. All right, go to Royce J. You got the floor. You got the mic.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for letting me up on the platform, Bernard. How you doing today, bro?
No, doing wonderful. Wonderful.
All right, I'm going to address this topic from a different angle, which I don't think has been covered by Game Changer or Patriarchy Strikes Back or Rod of God. And I think how I'm going to approach it has been ignored because I think both sides have approached it from a feeling rather than looking at it objectively from a third space. So the space I'm going to look at it from, because I'm neither for nor against. I'm for grown people being able to do what they want so long as they don't hurt others.
Do you watch porn?
Yes, absolutely.
So you're for it?
Yeah, I am neither for nor against it for what other people do. For myself personally, I'm going to do what I want to do. That being said, you have to look at it like it is an instructional. When looked at in a proper context, what we call pornography is actually instructionals on how to engage in intercourse.
Disagree.
Yeah, I disagree too. That shit. Some of that shit. That ain't no instructional. That's
no.
Sometimes
that's some do it at your own risk.
Hear me out. Because before a person engages in sexual activity, there's a lot of guessing. When you're 12, 13, 14, you first start getting that feeling in your pants. You have an idea of what you want to feel, but you don't exactly know how it goes. Well, what porn does is it provides instructionals. But that's if you look at it objectively. It shows you different positions. It shows you what reactions may look like. It gives you an idea of what you and the other person would be looking like. That being said, even if it's some of the more bizarre stuff, it's still an instructional nonetheless. It still shows you what it looks like, even if it's bizarre. And so when you look at it in that context, you take away the emotionality of the idea of watching other people engage in intercourse. And then it's just like, it's no different than learning how to, diagnose a refrigerator, or learning how to replace a belt on a lawnmower, or learning how to swim. This is why we have, in this day and age, instructional videos on platforms such as YouTube.
Oh man, I ain't going, and I'm all for porn and the free market of porn, but to try to narrow it down to an instructional video, no, people use it as an aid to help them bust a nut privately in their own home.
Nobody's saying that.
No, every now and again it can be instructional.
No, nobody's saying
you learn some new tricks, but damn.
No, I don't watch it all the time for instruction, but every now and again I come across a juicy little tidbit.
You learn some new tricks. It's like watching a football game. You may not play football, you may not play basketball, but you may enjoy watching it. Or if you do play it, like I used to box. I used to box. I used to do kickboxing and stuff. And what we would do is that we would look. We do research into the opponents that I was going to be facing, and I would watch tape of them, and I would break the tape down, slow it down, speed it up, watch it a bunch of different times to get an understanding of how to address that opponent. Now, I mean, you guys are laughing, but if you look at
You
it,
stupid, y'all.
if you look at it
slow
objectively, and you
motion
look at
to get better, to get stroke technique.
yeah, it happens. It happens. Why
In the
not?
NFL film room there.
Yeah.
No,
You know,
I feel his logic. I feel his logic. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, but
Copium
I
on
don't. But I don't.
1000.
Well, this is where I'm at. I don't understand what place that truly has in the debate that's predicated on porn being wrong for society.
now
Like
I
I don't
don't.
know where that has a place in that debate. It's like
My thing was just look at it from another point of view, because like I said, I don't feel it's whether it's wrong or right. I feel it's a personal choice. Now, addiction to anything is bad for society, and the things that patriarchy brought up about porn being bad, the same thing can be said about romance novelty. The same thing can be said about watching too much sports, using too
Alcohol.
many vice products. Exactly. Exactly. So, like to Game Changer's point, it is about moderation. It is
Great.
about having boundaries. You know, you're not going to be on a Zoom meeting, and looking at porn on the side. That's inappropriate. You're not going to be looking at porn in at times where your attention should be focused on something else. And if you can't do that, then there's a problem. But that addiction can carry over into anything. And so it takes a level of maturity and self awareness to approach it as this is simply either recreational or instructional, and leave it at that.
all right,
It's when it interferes in other things that's where it becomes problematic. But that
got
can
it.
be said about anything.
All right,
So
cool. All right, thank you for you taking your perspective on that. But we're about to go to Jackie. Jack, and we'll hold on real quick.
Jackie
Real
Jack.
quick. Yeah,
what's up, Jackie?
shout out to Jackie Jack back in the building. Number 16, I think I read that one. No, that's Jackie Jack asking for the link. Thank you for the 2 super chats. And no captivity with Freezy in the building says God frequently speaks against concupiscence. What is that? I don't know that.
Basically, he's saying that God speaks against thoughts. So okay, it's wrong when women do it.
Okay,
Nevertheless,
God is against porn. I mean,
yeah,
I would accept that. I know.
nevertheless,
I generally accept the Bible wouldn't be anti-porn. I mean, it's
What does it
part.
say
It's
that
part.
implicitly? What does it say
It
that
don't
it
say that
doesn't
implicit. Hold on, wait,
explicitly?
stop.
It
Hold
doesn't
on.
say
Wait a
it.
minute.
It doesn't say it
I can
explicitly.
answer you. I can answer you. It does say something about lusting. If a man, if you do it in your to have it, to feel it or know it, or in your heart is to do it, or to feel it in your heart is to do it, to think it that's to do it. So yes, if the Bible is against you having lustful thoughts, then I don't know how you watch porn without lusting. I mean, you can't watch porn without lusting. And
You can lust after
If
no,
you
he's
don't
somebody's
know the
no,
yacht.
Bible,
just
don't
like
speak
God's
on
You
not
the
can
against
lust
Bible
after a
eating.
if you don't
person's
know.
yacht.
wait, hold
Listen,
on, wait, go
Know
ahead,
the
wait,
Bible
stop. Hold on,
first.
wait. I want to hear him. Go ahead, Royce.
You can lust after somebody's yacht. You can lust after
And that's
somebody's
sin. And that's sin.
Mustang car. That's implicit, Bernard. It's not explicit. See, I don't play that. I don't play that
No,
implicit
I don't
game.
play the game at all when it comes to the Bible. Like I don't claim to be, a proponent or believer of it. I respect it. I mean, I respect other people's beliefs, and but overall, yeah, I think if lusting is if it's wrong to lust after a woman, then it's impossible to say that porn isn't wrong, because it's impossible to watch porn without lusting, and nowadays it's impossible to lust without eventually pulling out your phone and watching some porn. So it goes hand in hand. It just goes
But
hand
no,
in
no,
hand.
Can I
I'm
say
not
something?
buying that,
Can I
bro.
say something?
Go ahead.
Just like looking at food isn't gluttony, watching porn isn't lust.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Looking
you.
at food isn't gluttony.
Thank you.
Overindulging in the food is gluttony. However,
No,
looking at sex,
lust.
looking at sex is not lust. It's not part of the deadly sin. You're just
Oh
looking.
no, but you almost saying
I
you
would
only
eat
can
that
you almost saying it sounds
sandwich.
like you're saying you only can lust if you're actually engaging in the act, but lust by definition is not engaging in the act. It's something going on in your heart and your mind. Therefore, you can't make that argument.
Well, I would
I
agree with
want
Game
that
Changer.
sandwich.
I would agree
That's
with
what
Game
that's like
Changer in
saying.
this.
You look at a sandwich too long, it becomes lust. Come on, man.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I would agree with Game Changer on this basis that very much like the alcoholic becomes an alcoholic when his alcohol consumption begins to negatively affect his life. He loses his job. He can't take care of his responsibilities in his home. His financial situation takes a dive. Or he gets in trouble with the law. That's when your vice becomes an addiction and a
all right. All
problem.
right. I do want to.
And
Okay.
a
My bad. Go ahead.
problem, not just a thing that's a regular human thing. You understand what I mean?
No,
So
I
just
get what you're saying.
looking at someone having sex is not a problem until it becomes a problem.
Right.
All right.
Exactly. And
Now,
that's all
lust
that's
is
All right.
all I'm
lust is
saying.
a very strong sexual desire. If you watch porn, then the desire was there before you watched it. You would have that desire whether you watch it or not. Bernard.
No,
Jackie,
that part
you
is true. Hold on, wait. I can go with you on that part. If you got all that lust anyway, and it's happening, and porn is just the thing that you're using to just basically help scratch the itch of what's already there. So yeah,
Rigorously.
okay, that's a logical argument. But either way
So
it
it's not the
goes,
porn that's a sin. It's the lust. It's the lust that drives you to it. Now,
fair enough. But either way it goes, lusting in based off my interpretation of the Bible when I was a believer, yeah, masturbation was wrong in my assessment of it, because to masturbate is to lust. It's impossible to lust without masturbation. So I mean it's possible to masturbate without lusting. So in that sense, lusting is wrong, masturbation is wrong, and by extension, porn was wrong. It's all one big circle. So that's how I interpreted it. But I know it's some Christians that want to Christian Christianese their way into saying I could jack off to porn much as I want. I get it.
listen,
And if I was still hold on, wait. If I was still a Christian, I would do the same damn thing. But I do want to keep it moving.
But I mean, based on my interpretation, Bernard, of the Bible, Jackie should be butt naked right now. Like, and as I've
how do you know she's not?
Huh?
I was trying to go to her anyway, but just for the record, you don't know if she's not. Just for the record.
Okay. Then God loves you if you are, Jackie. But okay. I'm just saying
Go ahead, Jackie.
Okay,
closed or naked. Go ahead. It's your turn to speak.
Okay. Oh, how do I sound?
Horrible.
You sound like Jackie.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm trying to check on my voice. I came back from having my BBL procedure, so I'm recovering.
Uh-oh.
Don't come over here trolling. You know you ain't okay. Go ahead.
I hope you got a good surgeon. Put it that way.
I'm just playing. I just had the flu, so I don't know.
It's a long string of blood. It's a long string of blood in the Atlanta airport right now from Jackie, and she's getting rolled around. It's wheelchair wheels going through a string of blood from her. That's the thing. That's
she got to lay on. She got to lay on her side, like.
Yeah.
It be blood on the floor in the Atlanta airport from chicks leaking, getting rolled around. But
right.
Anyway,
so Game Changer is half right. I do have my bandages on, so he's half right about that.
All right.
But
come on, Jackie.
Wait, what?
No, I just had a flu, so I was trying to see how my voice sounds. Oh yeah. I'm not gonna speak on the religious stuff because I'm not religious. But when it comes to porn, I think it is a problem. I think it's made a lot of people socially awkward. I think it stops men and women from like interacting with each other. Um,
So are you also against dating apps?
Dating apps.
Right.
No, I'm not against. Honestly, I'm not
I
against.
mean, it's what I'm
It's
saying is it's an
more.
I'm not
entire
Are
against
you
either.
web.
against?
Hold on, wait,
It's
time out,
not
time
the
out, time out.
same.
I wanna lay this out. No, I'm laying this out. It's an entire web of things that prevent men and women from interacting with each other like they would normally 50 years ago. That's all. That was the only point I was making. I understand that a dating app and a
Hey,
porn site are two completely different levels on
But
that scale.
on a
But I'm
dating
just
app, you can interact with men and women on a dating app.
okay. Well,
On porn, you're not.
I generally met this modern social media world where people are just, have more conversations or more interaction or more stimulation, I should say, from being with a screen in front of their face versus actually interacting with people face to face. That's all I was saying. But go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. As far as the porn, I really think it stops a lot of social connections. Um, I know people, and I've been kind of, I don't want to say a victim, but I've been guilty of this. Like I could just be like, well, I don't need a I don't I'm I'm alone right now, but I got my stuff that I can, get it off, and then I'll be fine, and then it'll
You
tide
got
me
a
over.
glizzy. You got a
No,
glizzy.
no, not
Yes,
like,
you do. You got a
not
glizzy.
not that stuff, but I'm just saying I could just use
Yeah. Okay.
a little extra thing, and then it'll tide me over for a couple of more
You
months or
got a
something.
rose.
So it just stops people from just even having the motivation to even deal with each other.
That's not
To
true.
me, like I think if it's a person that's always been out there and social and dealing with people, it's not going to affect them as much. But the people that they came up in this porn, like, kind of, I guess, porn,
The
I don't know how to
post pornization of modern society.
yes. Yeah, they came up as like, yeah, the porn culture is like, you could just substitute like having interactions with women with that, or having interactions with men with that.
But you can say the same thing about social media. You can say the same
Yeah,
thing
not. No,
about
you cannot. You cannot say the
you can
same thing about everything
you
you're
because
can
still
everything is
you
interacting with
can
people
say that
on.
you got
You
people who
can't say the
literally
same
don't
thing
leave
about
their house.
everything because everything is not the
you're,
same.
you're
You
still
made that
You
you
interacting
can
with
made that
people on
yes
same
you
social
can.
you
You
made
media.
the
can
same
say that.
argument. No, you can't say the same thing about everything because
Yes you
everything
can.
is not the same. We're talking
You
about
got people that
pornography.
don't you got people that don't leave
So
their house
pornography is the
because of
same as
social
watching
media.
Netflix. Pornography is the
Yes,
same. Okay.
it can be. It
Really?
can
So
be.
I
If
can't
you're
go
no,
with
not
you on
no,
that.
that's what I'm saying. This
They're
guy, like,
two different
this,
things.
the
if you're
argument.
not
Hold on. Wait, time out. Okay, I want to refocus the conversation. It started out whether or not porn was bad for society. All right. I do agree that there is an entire web of things that keep people, from being social with each other, and porn is one of those things. But I think the argument of it being absolutely bad for society, the way the patriarchy strikes back was laying it out, is it goes beyond there's things that keep us from socializing.
right.
So I mean, those are like the socializing part. I think that's a light part of the argument. Just like how social media keeps us for socializing. Just like I come on here and I talk for a living, and but however, in my real life, I'm very introverted and don't talk to people that much unless I have to, or unless I really just, all right, I have to do this for this reason, so I go ahead and do it. But I don't like talking to people. So yes, there's a lot of forces that keep us from being from having those forced social interactions that we used to have all the time. So, but I do want to, now that patriarchy strikes back
Well,
up
I
here, I
have
do
I have
want
a
to get
question
it.
for
I do
Jackie.
want to get it back on the whether or not is literally bad and harmful and detrimental.
The
Like that's
thing
I do
is,
want to get it
I
back
want
on.
to I want to get back. I want to get back to
God,
Jackie,
man.
right
I
quick, if
guess
I may, right quick,
so.
please.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
But I mean, sorry, patriarchy, but this is just before.
I didn't ask you a question, really.
Huh?
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, Jackie. Have you ever met a guy who was socially awkward and addicted to porn that approached you?
I'm not talking. Okay, so can I clarify something? I'm not talking about people who are addicted to porn. I think people always want to just throw it over to the person that's addicted. Just getting it off one time a day, no one would think that's an addiction. But that can really literally replace, like, I don't need a girlfriend or I don't need a boyfriend.
It
Just
can
getting it
replace the
off.
desire to get out there and go looking.
Yeah, it can go looking. Yeah, the
Hold on a
motivation to
second.
go
No,
to go
but once
looking,
again,
and that's not an
Jackie.
addiction.
But this is what
Can
I
I-
mean when I say that you want them to come to your titties. I mean, you're basically looking at porn as a competition. You're saying that guys aren't going after you because they're watching porn. That's what essentially you're saying. What I'm saying is, do guys come at you in a socially awkward manner because they are addicted to porn?
But pornography is so
I mean,
shameful.
socially awkward men usually don't approach women, so no.
So okay, well let's put it like this, Jackie. Since it's such a problem, have you ever fucked the pornography out of a socially awkward man? Meaning, have you ever seen somebody that you didn't want to fuck because he's socially awkward, and you said and he's addicted to porn? Have you solved that problem for him? Because what you're suggesting is that he not fuck you and not watch porn.
I'm not suggesting that.
What are you
I think
suggesting?
he was aware. I think he was aware.
That's
I hear
not.
what you said.
That's not what
You want to
I'm
take
not. I'm
porn?
saying
Porn's is all he's got.
I'm not saying. I'm not even.
And
I'm
she
a,
want so
the libertarian in me is not going to take away porn. So I'm not saying stop watching porn. I'm saying, what I'm saying is, you have to. You have
you're
to do
saying that
more.
porn is making
This
him
is
socially
sad.
awkward. What I'm saying is you not fucking him is making him socially awkward. That's what I'm saying.
him not approaching me is might be the reason why he's not.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
Like,
All right. Go ahead, patriarchy. You was trying to jump back in. Go
Oh
ahead.
man, no, the guy that says everything is everything, it's just like that argument is absolutely ridiculous. Everything is not the same as everything else. Things are different. Effects of things are different. And then you're saying everything is everything. This is just a justification for anarchy.
So patriarchy. Let me ask you this question then, because that was me. That was Royce J.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, looking at your position on the effects of pornography on society, right now, porn is still stigmatized. There are many people that feel like you. That being said, romance novelty affects the brain, the human brain, the same way that porn does. Do you feel that exact same way about romance novelty?
No, I think like I don't
Go
know
ahead.
what he's trying to. It's just like I said, it's the unawareness, right? This is why we're here. Because if I told you it's fine to smoke a cigarette a day, what would you tell me? Nobody here understands my argument. If I told you I took 3 Tylenol a day, nobody here understands the argument that I'm making. Or I'll give you another one. I smoked a joint a day. I'm telling you, do you prescribe people to do things that you know are detrimental to them? You don't answer the question because, number one, the average person is unaware of how damaging pornography is.
Myself included, because okay, I said it. I hate to get graphic like this, but
You're asking people who don't
I've
have a
said,
problem with
hold
pornography.
on.
The thing about
hold it. I am convinced my mic is not working. All right, hold on. To what you're saying about people are not convinced that is detrimental to them. Yes, I've said before, and I hate to get graphic about my personal dealings with my junk. But listen, I get one off every day by hook or crook. No matter what, it just is what it is. It's better out than in. That's my philosophy. So rather either it's happening with a woman or I'm handling my business. One of the other. So here's the deal. Here's the deal. I have not suffered any consequences from doing that.
And you're doing the best you can do in life right now.
Any type of, oh my goodness, that see, now that's not a good argument,
and yours is not
that's
a good
like
argument.
that's like if I said,
but the thing is,
hold on, wait a minute.
This is why women are kicking our ass. This is sad, bro. You're
sad.
that
you have to substantiate your argument.
Your desire.
That me getting one off every day is
no, that's
the
not
thing,
what I'm substantiating. I'm substantiating that you
hold on,
are literally
real quick.
defending men being addicted to looking at their phone of women that they're not even having sex with, and you wonder why we're in the situation that we're in America right now.
Before I had internet access on my phone, wait a minute. Before I had internet access on my phone, guess what? I still got one off every day. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. So that's why
this is what I'm talking about.
But see, here's the thing. This is why I'm not. I am yet to be convinced that is the thing that has stopped me from being more successful or better than what I am today. That if I didn't jack off for 5 minutes and go to sleep. Or versus if I just said my ABC, counted sheep, or said my ABCs backwards, or whatever the hell people do to go to sleep. You haven't convinced me that's the thing that's stopping me from thriving or stopping people.
I haven't convinced you at all, right? I can't. I mean, you are so ingrained. This is an addiction. I'm not going to convince a crackhead not to do crack.
Okay.
This is the problem.
How is that?
Hold on. Let me finish talking. Before you start your fake trolling, which isn't all that great, let me finish talking. We literally you have a show called The Grown Man Hour.
Mm-hmm.
We have something called the Manosphere. You have guys on YouTube talking about all of these bad things that women are doing, but yet they can't figure out why women are doing these things when they have an uncurable desire to have attention for women.
Come on, man! No,
you can't even take your eyes. You wonder how women got all this power.
Time out. You're going back to that bad argument of saying that.
How is it a bad argument?
You're going. Let me lay out what the argument was. Hold on, stop. Goddamn.
Go next.
Okay, you're going back to that bad argument of saying that a man watching porn is giving a woman attention. Like that.
I'm saying that it's giving something. Number one, I'm saying it's addictive. Number one, I'm saying it has negative effects. The difference is, and you know what's funny?
No, let's deal with the argument that you were just on.
Come on. Let me say something.
You're leaving the argument.
I'm giving you the argument.
Okay, go
right
ahead.
Now. We're not even talking. This isn't even something that you're physically consuming. That's what's so detrimental about this. This isn't a bad cheeseburger. This isn't even something that you're putting in you. This is something that you're allowing to mentally wire you and affect your psyche. In the fact that we have a bunch of people, hold on a second. The fact that we have a bunch of people, this conversation lets me know how screwed we really are. We have a bunch of people who see a society with radical feminism, and then they see how many female enablers of men that there are out there, but yet they want to continually allow men to give women indirectly attention that detriments them. It's crazy to me.
I think it's true and obvious that I got you, GC. I think it's true and obvious that men feeding the system and giving women attention is a big part of the problem of a lot of the stuff that we complain about. This is the first time I've heard somebody even put porn in that same category, and I that's my first time ever even hearing that argument. Most people look at porn as something separate, and that's how I look at it. Something that's separate and off to the side, and it has nothing to do with any of the actual modern social dynamics between men and women. That's where I've categorically put porn. I'm gonna do some thinking and try to process whether or not watching porn should categorically get put in the same category of men feeding the attention spigot that women the attention well that women drink at all day. I don't necessarily.
Hold on a second, but the thing is, you missed the second one. To your own detriment. It's literally, you're literally killing two birds with one stone.
Not seeing that, and that's the part.
Destroying yourself. You're destroying yourself.
That's the part. That's the part where you absolutely haven't convinced me that I've destroyed myself for jacking off for 5 minutes. You absolutely haven't convinced me of that.
Once again, I can't convince a crackhead about crack. I can't.
Actually, you can, because a crackhead can.
Okay, I gotta wrap you up.
Hold on.
Like New Jack City and throw you in there. I gotta be like Ice-T.
Hold on. Stop it. A crackhead can literally see the destruction in his life from smoking crack. So that's where you got a bad argument.
And you walk outside and you see the state of men today, and you think pornography and what their attention is tied to has nothing to do with this at all.
Not really. I think it affects.
All right. You got it. Yeah, they're all the same today. You're right.
I think it does have an effect on some, but it comes down to individuals. Sort of like how I said before. It comes down to personal choice. If we, cheese. If somebody consumes too much cheeseburgers, then it will be a problem. But if somebody is letting porn literally run and control their life, then it becomes a problem. If somebody just
exactly.
I mean,
but what's too much, Bernard?
I think
what's the
I don't think it's too much to if somebody gets one off every day, either it's with an actual person or they use the kinky thoughts in their head or they use porn. If somebody gets one off every day and then goes to sleep at night,
there's a total difference between getting off with a person and then getting it off with yourself. It's different.
This is true.
Yeah, it's obviously different because one, there's another person there, and one is it's images on the screen or it's dirty thoughts in your head. But either way it go, if somebody getting one off daily, I don't think nothing is wrong with that, no matter how they get it off. And I'm not convinced that is just ruining. I'm not convinced that that's ruining somebody's life to the degree of a crackhead smoking his family's groceries. Basically, that's a different thing.
You don't think
a crackhead smoking a crackhead? Hold on, a crackhead literally smoking the money that he needed to pay to keep the lights on at his house or to pay the rent, and now he's getting evicted, and now he's out on the streets, and like that's
exactly. I haven't seen porn.
You don't think this has destroyed lives at all?
Can I interject?
All right,
has destroyed any lives at all?
Can I? Nobody said that. That's why I asked for the percentage. But let me ask you this, patriarchy. Do you masturbate?
No.
So the only way, because your body's going to, produce semen and put it in the prostate, whether you remove it or not, the only way you can release this semen is through a woman, right?
I don't understand your question.
I'm saying that the only way you can nut because you don't masturbate is with a woman, right?
Okay.
Meaning that she has complete and total control and power over your sexual access and function.
Okay.
You see, patriarchy, that is how bonobos work. Once you are in a situation where you do not have control, and that's why it's called masturbation, because you are the master, you are in control of it. If you are with a woman, let's just say you were with Jackie, and Jackie said, you know something? I'm not going to fuck you until you start clipping my toenails. And you will, because you do not have the power to jack off, will have to clip Jackie's toenails in order to get off.
Okay.
You say that that porn is diminishing men.
I say about porn and masturbation. Those are two completely different things. Those are two completely different things.
No, they go hand in hand. Come on now,
they don't go hand in hand.
Don't
they don't go hand in hand. You just said you can jack off without porn. So like I don't understand what you're talking about.
No, it does go hand in hand. I can, but I prefer to do it with porn.
Okay, but the thing is this: you just said it. So what I'm talking about is people who watch digitized images on a screen.
No. Let's not change the subject. You that guy that don't jack off.
No. You changed the subject.
Therefore,
you changed the subject.
No.
You changed change the subject. You went from talking about jacking off.
No. The subject as presented was
things.
you not jacking
two
off.
completely different
that
things.
You do not have
Those
the
are
power.
two
All right. Let's not. Hold on. Wait. Time out.
Don't change the game.
Time out. Can y'all stop it?
Stop it.
The game.
He's changing the game.
Anybody else hear me on the
in
panel?
order to ejaculate.
I hear you.
They have.
Why did I
Okay.
get
All
muted?
right.
Why did
Y'all
I get
hear
muted?
me?
Yes, we hear you.
All right. Come on, y'all. When I start trying to rein it in, y'all just stop. I'm gonna give it back to y'all. Just let me rein it in. Okay. Game Changer was building towards the point. Patriarchy. You saw, I think, a very subtle flaw in his point. But even if you think it's a big flaw, let's let him lay it out before. Don't just derail and heckle, saying it's not the same over and over again. Let's let him just finish the point, and then we'll throw it back to you. Go ahead.
My point is that by not masturbating rigorously if needed, or even a healthy amount, you give women all the control. If you are single, you have to constantly beg women to get it off because they are the only way you can give it off. They are the only way you can get it off. Period. You have to monkey dance. You have to game. You have to do whatever it takes. You have to pay. You have to do whatever it takes because masturbation is not a choice. The power to masturbate is a power that you have now given women in that regard. Same with if you are in a relationship. If you are in a relationship, she has sole control over when you can nut, when and how you can nut. That is the power you give women without masturbating. Every time I get rejected by a pretty bitch, I say, fuck you. I'm going to jack off to you and there's nothing you could do about it. That is my power. I'm going to think about you when I jack off and there ain't shit you can do about it. Fuck you. That is my power. You do not have that power. You have omitted your power to self-pleasure.
Okay. So you walk up to women and tell them that? You tell women that?
I mean, I'm speaking as a joke, but yes, I have told women that.
Okay, and that's what porn gets you. This is what porn gets you.
Come on, man. DC. Come on, let's not make stupid arguments. Hold on, wait, real quick.
He said it. He said it.
I know, but you Game Changer. Hold on, wait, stop.
No. Game
Changer.
No. Come on, no, stop.
Game
Stop.
Okay, don't tell me stop on my show, please.
But you
Game Changer. Do you actually Game Changer? So, Game Changer. Do you actually do that?
No. Not
okay. Then don't.
Okay, now he said he did.
All right, no, because I don't.
He said it before.
That was a troll answer, and I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole of you arguing the troll answer, saying, "See, this is what it leads to."
Now it's a troll answer. Now you're jumping in for him. It's okay.
I'm not jumping in for him.
I'll take on the Legion of Doom for porn today.
We understood it was metaphorical. The rest of the panel understood it was
Oh, it's metaphorical.
I think hold on, wait, stop.
Okay,
I think he made good points, and then he threw in some bullshit at the end. And instead of focusing on the good points, you're going to focus on the bullshit.
I
want you. Hold on, wait, stop. And in the name of being clear in this, I want you to challenge the more sound points that he made versus arguing.
How many sound points? Hold on a second. How many sound points has he made when he was insulting Christianity? Right. When he was insulting Christianity by attempting to give his little troll answers or whatever on God watching porn, you didn't stop him then. But
I know because when somebody when Game Changer is being funny, if it's
hilarious.
Fun, it's not hilarious.
You're jumping in to help him right now.
Okay,
let us
right
have
now,
a conversation.
Hold on. When you said when he was making his troll points, I didn't jump in and stop him. I will let him. Dude, stop. Dude, come on, chill. If he's making a troll funny point, I will let him go ahead and try to be funny. If he made the troll funny point at the end of some good points, I don't want somebody to just focus on the funny part, the troll part. I want somebody to focus.
Him for clarification, and that boy said yes.
And
I asked him. No, hold on a second. I asked him.
Let him do that. Hold
on a second. I asked him. Like I said, I know you're getting a little help today, both of y'all. So y'all gonna rub one out after this. But let me say this, right?
Whoa! Stop!
Bernard,
what the fuck did you say?
Now I'm trolling now.
I mean, you just said I'm a
I'm trolling. Oh, okay, so I can't troll now, but y'all can troll.
No, you can't tell me I'm a rub one off to.
You just said you get one out once a day.
Oh, okay. Okay, and I thought
Come
you meant
on
something
now.
else.
Come
No,
on
no,
now,
no.
bro.
I thought you
Come
meant
on
something
now,
else.
bro. Come on. Now I can't troll. Okay, so I
No,
got
no,
I
no.
got it.
You can.
Oh,
I
I
got
got
the
it.
joke. I got the joke now, and it was
Okay. So let
kind
me
of
just
funny.
say this, right? I asked him for clarification. I said, "Hey man, have you done that to a woman?" He stopped and said, "Yes, I've done it to one." And I said, once again, that's what pornography gets you.
And
Okay,
I
so
think
no,
that's
no,
a bad. I think
now
that's a
hold on.
bad.
Now I don't get to make a point because I'm getting
No,
cut
I
off.
didn't know. I didn't know if you were done.
Hey,
But
But
the
hey,
thing is
hold
that
on
no,
a
I'm not
second.
done. No, I'm not
Hold
done.
on a
You
second. Hey, but
go
no,
ahead.
no.
now we got the
I'm
other
gonna
guy
drop
up
down,
top.
man.
Go ahead,
Now we got the
patriarchy.
guy on top right.
Go ahead,
Okay.
patriarchy. Go
So
ahead,
what
patriarchy.
I'm gonna say is this. Once again, we have a guy who is trying to correlate people watching digitized images on the screen. I'm talking about the detriment that it has.
That's what I
That's what
wanted
I'm
to
saying.
focus on. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that it is detrimental to men. I'm saying that it is not something, and I know that you're facing men's strongest desire, right? Men's desire to procreate or to have sex with women, right? If a man thinks about a woman every 8 seconds of the day, you're going up against a desire that's very, very strong. So
Mm-hmm.
I would even argue that it may be stronger than some man's desire for a cheeseburger or drugs or et cetera, right? Because it is one of the Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Mm-hmm.
So what I will say about this is this, right? He said that, oh, well, I'm giving the woman the power over me, right? I'm giving the woman the power over me getting off.
That's what I
Once
wanted you to respond to. That part. Thank you.
okay. Once again, right? What are you giving your attention to? You can talk about what comes out of the below the waist, but what are you giving your attention to that is above your shoulders? What are you giving your brain power to? What are you giving your focus to? This, I'm talking about something deeper. The reason why we're having such a divide in this conversation is because, once again, you're looking at things from a very surface level. I'm looking at things from a political level, the political effects this has on men, the social effects that this has on men, and the
Let him go. Let him go. Let
like
him
I
go.
said,
social aspect. Go ahead.
the social aspect and the mental aspects that this has on men. You're looking at it as just one solitary act. What I'm saying is, when people do that all of these acts together, and it compounds, and then people justify it, and they allow it openly. What is the effects that has? What kind of effects does that have?
All right. And thank you for laying out your argument. Real quick, shout out to Anton Dane C in the building. Shout out to Anton. All right. And that's sort of where I want the conversation to be, because I'm open to being okay. I hate to be in this situation to where it's like, there's a macro argument and there's a micro argument. The micro is I'm good. It ain't affecting me. I'm a well-adjusted man. I got a, I got a I got a woman that loves my dirty drawers and a side chick that loves my dirty socks. I get pussy. I'm good. Every now and then I watch some porn. I'm good. I'm well adjusted. Okay. So I can make a micro argument and say, oh no, it don't affect me. I'm good. But I want the macro argument to get laid out some kind of way, to the point where I don't know. I do want to give him a chance to convince me of the macro, and I'm not yet convinced. But that's sort of where I want the discussion to be. That's sort of where I want the discussion to be. But whoever wanted to respond to what he said right there about, go ahead.
Well, yeah, I'll respond. So as far as the whole, I'm just
playing on the side chick. I'm a faithful Christian man. I'm just playing.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
No worries. But as I was saying, as far as the whole comment that I made about to the woman about, I'm gonna think about you when I masturbate anyway, and there's nothing you can do about it. That's actually not something I got from porn. That's something that I got from a bit that Louis C.K. did on his show that I thought was funny as hell, and I mimicked it in real life for my own personal amusement. I don't know if I actually pictured the woman in my own masturbatorial fantasies. However, I could have, and it ain't shit she can do about it. And that is the power of masturbation. That is a power that you omit yourself. That's a power that every man has, and every man has used from time to time. Your actions disempower men. Period. You basically leave the entirety of your sexual pleasure in the hands of the plurality of women, as opposed to putting it in your hand.
Wait, the
I
important
disagree with
question. Hold
that.
on, real quick. Time out.
Hey,
The
Bernard, I'm
important, the
gonna drop
important
down,
question that
bro.
got to get, the important question that got to get asked right there. If you're going down that route, and this is where I was trying to steer it to, patriarchy strikes back. Do you have an issue with men masturbating in general? Porn or no? Without porn, do you got an issue with them masturbating?
I'm not sure.
Well, all right.
I don't.
My
That's like
argument.
that's
My
probably
argument.
the only thing in your life that
Excuse me,
you're not
sir.
sure about.
Excuse me, sir.
You are
Right.
sure on every goddamn thing else.
Can I finish
Right.
talking? Let me finish talking.
Let's do it,
Oh, Rod
Father.
in the back. My bad, Rod.
Once
I
again,
ain't see you.
nobody's listening. Nobody, like, it's you're not listening to what I'm telling you. What I'm telling you, my argument was about pornography.
Mm-hmm.
The industry of pornography, the technology behind pornography, and the effects of pornography on the society and on men. That's my argument. You keep, I mean, like, like I said, I don't understand where you're going, asking me other questions that have anything to do with outside of that. But he did bring up Louis C.K., who was pleasuring. Like, come on, man. Like, do I have to go down the road about Louis C.K.?
Please,
Hey,
go
hey,
ahead.
Bernard, I'm gonna drop down, man. I appreciate you letting me
All right.
jump on
All right,
that.
peace,
I'll talk
man.
with you
Peace.
later.
Appreciate you coming through. Appreciate you coming through. All right, yeah, Louis C.K. did have a Me Too situation, so that is a good a clap back. But
Does
anyway,
it have something to do with porn? Perhaps if he watched the porn, he wouldn't have to do no crap like that.
Mm-hmm. And so let me ask you. So you're an avid porn watcher, right?
No.
Okay, but you do watch it.
Yes.
And so should people model themselves after you?
I don't care.
Okay,
I know that I watch it from time to time.
And you watch people in public?
Not in public, but no, in a private house settings, I do stand and watch people fuck.
Okay.
I like that more than porn because I like them knowing that I'm looking at them.
And this is where there we go. Exhibit A.
Exhibit A of what?
I'm just saying. If that's what
you like,
that's
Exhibit A of what?
Like. If that's what you like, that's
yes, it is what I like. I like all kind of shit.
How's that? How's the sex party?
What
Explain how sex parties are Exhibit A to your point about the problem of porn.
If that's what you're into, that's what you're into, I guess. Completely.
Yes,
normal.
it is. Yeah. And you're into not jacking off.
Okay.
What the fuck? Like, see, that's where the dick policing come in. You know, that's
your
my
dick
prerogative.
Out with other dicks out in the room.
That is my prerogative. If I want to stand around and watch two adults fuck, what the fuck does that have to do with you?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with me.
So why you ask? Why you?
No, I'm just saying it all. I'm not saying it all. It has nothing to do with me at all, my friend.
Yeah, but you bring it up like, oh, case in point.
I'm just saying that.
What is that a point of? What point is you making about what I do to get my pleasure?
But the thing is this, you ask me, what do I do to get my pleasure?
No, I ask you what you don't do.
So you
and what you don't
so
and what you don't do.
So you wake up one day,
jack off.
You get
like a normal goddamn
like a normal, and it's completely normal to go to house parties and watch other people have sex. So let me ask you a question. So you wake up and say, I think I want to get dressed and go out. You get dressed and you go out to watch other people have sex.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
What the fuck?
You got it.
Why is that the worst
thing you like seeing other men pleasure women?
I see women pleasure men. That's what I mostly focus on. Okay. Nevertheless, it's what the fuck I want to do.
Listen, you're free to do what you like.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm free until niggas like you interfere with the shit that I like to do.
Oh, I'm
talking about you.
I don't want to interfere with you watching another man's dick. I don't want to interfere with you watching another man's penis, sir.
Yes, you do.
You're right.
You saying that the government should get rid of porn. Yes, you do.
Well, so according to what you're doing, it's not porn, right? Because you're going to actually watch two people have sex in person.
My point is you are trying to get the Fed to actually dick police people. And I ain't having it. Damn it.
Okay, I'm sure.
I did want to, before I go back to Rod.
You don't want to police the other dicks that you get to watch have sex with women.
All right. Before we get back to before I go to Rod, I didn't know you was in the back. You was in the back for a minute, so I apologize for that. But But Patriarch, I do want to ask you this, because you basically want, from a damn near a top-down standpoint, the government to basically get in the way and just make porn illegal. And like, okay, the reason I'm asking this, setting it up this way, you're a conservative. Conservatives
Correct.
believe in smaller government, but
Mm.
you want all this government control and
Yeah. When did
regulation
I tell you I
over.
believe in smaller government? When did I say that?
Oh, my bad, my bad. So you're a conservative that does not believe in smaller government.
I'm a conservative that wants to go back to traditional values, and I'm somebody that wants men to retain their position in the world. And when I see some things like
And if
this,
that mean taking away some freedoms, you're okay
yeah,
with it.
I care about winning.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All
I
right.
mean,
All
the
right.
thing is this. Yeah, absolutely.
No,
I
okay.
care
No,
about, I
I
care about
got you. I got your
producing a
position on that.
society. Yeah.
I got your position on that. All right, Rod, are you are you there? Okay, I think Rod having some connection issues. That give me a good chance to read some super chats. And Deanie says, Matthew 5:28. But I say unto you, whatsoever looketh, oh yeah, that's the scripture I was looking to. Whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery in her with her already in his heart. That's why I was saying that the Bible, masturbation in porn is not allowed, is not permitted per the Bible, because if you're looking at that woman and you're masturbating to her, clearly you're lusting after her. To look at, whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery. So you're committing the act by looking at it and lusting after it. So that's why I don't.
Also, you're committing the act by shooting your shot at her.
Ooh, not real.
Yes, it is.
Come on now. A good Christian, a good Christian wordsmith will argue his way out of that one, but I don't think they can argue their way out of Matthew 5:28. There's that. But Deanie in the building says 1 Corinthians 6:18 through 20 says, flee fornication. Okay, thank you. Marvin in the building said, at the end of the day, the question y'all are wrestling with is one of new age idol worship. Is the thing you are indulging in turning you from your grace? Hallelujah. All right. Praise him. All right. Jaquez Retro in the building says, everything that tastes good is not good for you. Agreed. All right. We had the 3-hour mark. This was a good
Listen, I'm not here to judge anybody, and if I came off like that,
yes, you are.
Can you let me finish my
point? Let him
finish. Because I know what this is, right? Like it's I'm not perfect by any means, right? I do things that are wrong all the time, right? But I think that this stuff is dangerous. I think when I look at what it's done collectively, I don't like it. I don't like I don't like the amount of power that it's taken from men and given to women. I don't like how much it's being promoted and pushed. I don't like the fact that now women have the ability to control it and use men over it. And I don't like what it's done for men in terms of our society. Now, the thing is, when I look up, the amount of men that are not having sex, I don't consider pornography sex. I think it's damaging. I think where we are right now with how men are, I think it's not normal. And so for me, this is it's just my idea to remove it. I can be wrong. I'm not saying that I'm not wrong. I could be wrong on this. I could be completely out of line. There's things I may do in my own life which may not line up with this, right? You can point out hypocrisy in my own life. I'm just saying that I think that you should consider it, right? You should consider what it will do, right? I don't think that it should be eliminated and prostitution should be illegal at the same time. I think if you're going to allow this, prostitution should be legal. But I think that this has become something that has exploited men collectively, and I think that it's something that's just ruining the society. That's my opinion. I could be wrong. Like I said, I could be wrong.
All right, no, I respect that. And I'm out of all the things that are ruining society, I don't put porn at the top of the list. I just don't. And that could be a personal self-serve. That's what I'm really struggling with. Cause like when I try to be objective as possible, And whenever I find myself making a self-serving argument, I stop myself. I try to take myself completely out of it and analyze it without me being involved. I seriously try to do that. And so I'm trying to do that with this one. And so I'm gonna think on this one. And I'm not convinced that porn is anywhere near the top of the list of things that are
I think it's in the
society.
top 10.
You think at the bottom of the top 10 or like in the top 3,
It's towards the bottom, but I think it's in the top 10. I think it's a serious problem, and no one can really see it because it just gives people so much enjoyment. It's like you can't really. I think it's a serious problem.
Let me ask you, would you say the relationships between men and women are anywhere on that top 10?
Of like societal issues?
Talking to Bernard real quick.
Oh.
Bernard's in the top 10. Thank you. Do you think that relationship between men and women are anywhere on the top 10?
Of societal problems?
Yes.
Yes. And yeah, they're in the top 10 because family formation, I think, is the best way to produce healthy, stable, productive people. And without the family structure, I think that we're going to ultimately have the chaotic society that particularly where the black community is going. So yeah, so I do put it up there.
How about female elevation, like women having more power?
Yeah, that definitely is part of the problem as well.
Okay, I think that this could. I know what Game Changer's argument is, but I think with the whole OnlyFans stuff, I think it should be gone. I'm sorry.
I think OnlyFans is a game changer, and you got me. No pun intended. OnlyFans is a game changer. You got me thinking on that one because, the sex industry was ran, owned, and controlled and operated by men, but now that it's becoming fully independent, and it's eventually going to get to the point to where you're not even going to see porn stars working for porn companies, in sites and whatever. You're going to basically just see it all independent, 100% controlled by women. So that will be a game changer.
Also, given online censorship, so you can ban Donald Trump, and you can ban Sneeko, and you can ban Tate and all these other people, but you're allowing this.
Well, it's a come on. Well, hold on, wait, hold on. The part of that argument that makes that a bad argument is that they're banned on platforms that don't allow sex.
No,
so
there's people that have been banned on OnlyFans. Wasn't like Tommy Sotomayor, wasn't he banned on OnlyFans? There's people that's been banned. Alex Jones was banned on OnlyFans. There's people that have been banned. So you're telling me, go ahead.
No, what I'm saying is that
they're banned on platforms, but not totally.
You're going
There's people that have been banned from OnlyFans.
I get what you're saying right there, but in general, you can't make that argument that they're going to ban Andrew Tate, but then they allow porn. I mean, they're a porn site. They're basically over here, 3 doors down to the left. You go through this door, is porn over here. We allow.
I'm talking about OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
There have been people like Alex Jones. People have been banned.
Okay. All right. I'll concede that point to some degree. It's a weird thing. It seems like if they're allowing all kind of depravity and people getting shits taken on them, then why not have Alex Jones ranting and raving about some crazy shit? That's a fair. It seemed like on an OnlyFans type site, anything should be a go. But I get your point on that.
Game Changer about to roast me on his show.
No, the show is about something else.
Oh, thank you.
The show is
I'm not trying to judge you, bro. Like if I came off as that, my bad, bro. It's all.
I don't care, but it's all love. But no, the show is about something else. I'm not about to.
You got points. I ain't trying to. I'm just presenting a different perspective.
No, I agree. No worries. But no, the show is about something else. Basically, the Filipina P had something to say about black men in the Philippines. She's a Filipina content creator that talk about expats and stuff like that all the time. So I got wind of one of her shows, and I'm going to do a review on that. So it has nothing to do with this particular conversation. But
I'm out of here, man. I done my good deed for the day, man. Y'all get your lives right with Christ, and y'all don't need this, bro. We don't need any more male attention being given to this stuff. We need to get to the stars. We could have been on Mars right now, but we could have been living on the moon, but you looking at women with craters in their ass. We could have been out of here. Men need to focus their attention and give that shit to something else outside of these women.
All right.
But you want to know what the men that went to the moon did do?
They
Jack
didn't.
off.
They didn't.
All right, so
that's another conversation.
Okay, it is. It is. We could talk about that later. But
didn't.
yes, they jacked off and watched it float. Anyway, speaking of jacking, Jackie, let me ask you this.
Ragnarok, go back to Canada.
Let me ask you this, Jackie.
Yeah.
With 1/3 of the male population, either an incel or I think it was like either a virgin or they haven't had sex in the last year. If those men didn't jack off, would you have power over them?
No, I wouldn't have power over them.
So you telling me that 1/3 of the male population out there trying to fuck you at the same time because they can't jack off because they haven't had any in a year. You telling me that you wouldn't be out there doing Simon Says and shit. You wouldn't be out there saying, put your left hand on your right nose or some shit like that. You're telling me that you would not have that type of power if the only way they can get off was through your vagina. You're telling me you would not have.
Well, I'm not against, like I said, I'm not against porn or I'm not against people masturbating either. So I'm
Game changer. You keep trying to. You keep trying.
If they didn't, right?
You keep trying to auction off Jackie's pussy to the lowest bidder. Like you
no,
keep doing
exactly.
that.
I'm saying that. No. What I'm saying, Bernard, is that jacking off means that it's fewer men bidding on it. It means that they don't have to bid on Jackie's pussy because they have the power to jack off. But if they didn't have the power to jack off, then her pussy would go for auction at a much, 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 much higher price. And she knows that. That's my point. They don't want to admit the power that that not jacking off gives to a woman. That's why they call her Jackie, because they know. Never mind.
No, like that's not okay. I get what you're saying. Like it's gonna give women more power to like
exactly
over men because they can just reject them or they can get more things out of men just because this is the only way I can really get my nut off. So I have to like deal with all these demands from women. My only argument was that I think porn is it's really just lulling people to sleep. It's just like you don't have to get out anymore. You don't have to like.
It's good comfort food. It's good comfort.
It is.
Food.
It's just.
I get it.
You don't have to take no risk. I think that's just really what the issue is. Like, it's okay if you have like a healthy, like I guess a healthy diet of like actually interacting with people, interacting with women, and you do that on with that. But I think it's to a point where people have gotten to a point where it's just a regular thing. I just get it off, and then it holds me over as long as I can just get it off. One time a day, it holds me off. I don't have to talk to women. I don't have to deal with them.
I think that's why I don't have a problem with it, because for me, it's not the only game in town. It's just, it's I really just look at it as just like a scrimmage before the game. I don't know. I don't know. It ain't to me. It ain't to me. I think I'm pretty neutral. Like it don't bother me, but he's trying to lay out an argument that it has a wider effect on society. Like if men didn't have porn, they would be so focused and driven and achieving and thriving and doing other things. And then another person, hell, Game Changer is one that would argue that if men, particularly black men, weren't so focused on pussy, they would be achieving and thriving and doing other things. And so it's always a lot of people take something that people are focused on that's fun, like video games. Take video games off the table. Without video games, all these young men would be helping build the spaceship to Saturn. It's like those arguments don't never work for me, but
because like men interacting with women and being with women is never going to end. It's like it's biology. So why are we trying to like stop focusing on women? Like that's not realistic.
Exactly.
Like, I don't get the point of that.
All right. But no, good debate, good dialogue. Good. But go ahead, Rod. I give you the last word since you the big pocket show sponsor today, man. You got the last word. And
Hey,
thanks for coming. Thanks for coming on up. Thanks for gracing the show. But go
of
ahead. You got the
course.
floor.
Thank
You
you.
got the mic.
First of all, thank you for having me. Salute to you. Congratulations to you, bro. 20K, bro. I remember when I first started watching you was at like 7, bro. You know what I'm saying? We growing, bro. We growing.
Started
Nah,
from
but
the
nah,
bottom.
see.
Now we here. No,
Yeah, you know. And then look at and shout out to the gender war crew, you know, GC.
Oh
Oh
yeah. I damn near forgot about that.
yeah.
Wait, what happened?
Hey,
No, you just
gender
said shout
war
out to
crew.
the gender war crew when we had the show going. I had to shut it down. We couldn't find enough disagreeable women, so we still
Yeah.
gotta I
Oh,
gotta
that's right. We were that. Yeah, I forgot
Yeah,
about
we
that.
yeah I
were
got
there,
I'm
bro.
gonna bring that back when I get the disagreeable women. They don't want to come here. They
They don't want that
don't
smoke.
yeah.
But yeah, man. Hey, and I'm gonna start making content, bro. I just got my sure mic, man. You know, I'm about to start making content. Yo, I'm telling you, bro. I promise. But nah, man. On this topic, bro, I think it was an excellent discussion. Patriarchy had some great points as usual. Love that dude, light skin, gang gang. But you know, Jackie got good points too in terms of like, and of course GC too. I mean, when he's not trolling and like trying to like go to hell with gas draws on. You know, in terms of like, it's never gonna go away. And that men who try to, you know, police men's desires and the way they're gonna, you know, act on those desires, they have to understand God Himself does not elect to do that. God Himself doesn't. So if God doesn't, who the hell you think you are? I think you're gonna tell men what they're gonna do. And that's all I gotta say.
All right, and with that said, we about to wrap this bad boy on up. I'd like to thank everybody who came on through today. I thought this was gonna be a shorter show today, but yeah, shout out to Patriarchy. He got it. He got it popping and he redirected he spun the show into I think a more interesting topic. So so shout out to him for that. Do appreciate him. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. Peace. We gone. Wait, no, okay, now we gone. All right.